Futures holding on to positive territory here as we get going on a Tuesday morning. Pretty light on the economic calendar this morning. That said, though, markets looking to extend this rally that kicked off after the Fed came through last week with that larger than expected rate cut. Ton of things to talk about this morning. This rally in Tesla shares continuing. Another gap to the upside this morning. Chinese ADRs, huge moves here. Right across the board, anywhere from EV stocks right through to Alibaba, the e-commerce names as well, all higher on some stimulus coming through from the Chinese government unexpectedly overnight. So huge day for Chinese stocks in general over during the Asian session, but ADRs now following through here this morning so far. Interesting as far as some Fed speakers to come today. We'll see if there's any reaction to the overall market. I mean, at this point, I'm not sure what they could possibly say that would be shocking to the overall market that we haven't heard of already, but we'll get a few more here as the quiet period has ended once again.
Maybe they'll start floating around the idea that we're going to get another 50 bips, Brendo, on the next cut, but I don't anticipate that. But to build on your point, lots of stimulus coming into China, sending these Chinese ADRs really high. Nio up 7 1/3, XBEF 7 1/5, Li Auto over 8%. Baba as well, over 5%. Essentially, what they're doing here is they're lowering the borrowing costs and injecting more funds into the economy. They're also going to basically shore up some of the monetary policy as well, Brendo. Analysts liking this, the market liking this, and a good move already for these Chinese ADRs.
Yeah, we'll see if there's any follow through. I was just looking here on trade ideas. 20% here in a month for Alibaba shares. So quietly, I mean, this is how these trade. You get these gaps and then they kind of go sideways typically, but nice huge gap this morning. We're way up here. Back to 95 for Alibaba this morning, so we'll see if we get any follow through as far as that is concerned. I saw this morning as well, Tesla shares up 16% now.
Goodness.
In 2 weeks. So 10 trading days and 16% for Tesla. So lots to consider here, guys, on a Tuesday. Good morning.
Good morning. Tuesday sweater weather and baby blue apparently. Is the flavor of the day. Shreve doesn't know, but you got to get that blue on. But I don't know about the sweater weather, although it is getting a little chilly around here. But hot start for the Chinese ADRs. I'm going to show something in JD in a second, but when Brendan said gapping around, those stocks, all they do is gap. Like it's just gap and do nothing, gap and do nothing. Yesterday, actually, a big day for the stock, but huge gaps to the upside on these Chinese ADRs. And we talked about this last night with Michael Noss. Like K-Bub was breaking out and all of these, Alibaba was breaking out. He listed a couple of names, like smaller names that he liked. The tricky thing about this, and we'll get into it with the trading, is when we see the gap this big, a lot of times they sell at the open. So I think you want to be at least a little bit ready for that, whether it's JD, Alibaba. I mean, all three of the Chinese EV names are all up 7%. Tesla did gap the 250 level, not terribly. Can't be too surprised. It ran that price right at the end of the day. And a lot of times, a level like this, you don't get that clean break in the middle of the day. It doesn't happen necessarily where you can hit that punch, but up another couple points today, that's going to be worth watching. What's interesting about today is it's a flat market on the ES. And the NASDAQ's up like less than 0.1%. But you've got a host of names that are showing a good relative strength. And some with a little bit of relative weakness, but for the most part, I'd say some strength. So Chinese EVs, I mean, Tesla's looking good. Micron, day two as well. I'm nice and well rested because I didn't have to stay up all night for that Monday Night Football game. Nothing wrong with a shellacking. Way to go, Bills. But it was 5 touchdowns in one half. It wasn't even worth watching the second half. It was so much fun.
Yeah, I stayed. It was actually a good game. The Commanders versus the Bengals, and the Bengals, of course, screwed that game up as well and lost. So now they're 0-3. They're Cincinnati. We
probably would have had them in the
again. Who knows? Well, the Bills would have been a good pick, obviously, in Survivor. Yeah, I think Tesla now. I think is flat on the year. I think. Let me just have a quick look at this. TSLA. Yes, there it is, right there. We just went green, ladies and gentlemen. So what has been a horrible year for Tesla investors because we were always like, oh man, this guy got kicked out of the Mag 7, this and that. And now you can see right here, now up on the year is Tesla. So great. I mean, that's great. I own Tesla shares. Very nice to see that move come back upside. And I think it can continue to go. I mean, great momentum, as Brendan mentioned there early. let's see if it can continue. It was the #1 trade here yesterday. It's been a big trade over the last couple of days on breakouts. I don't know if there's a breakout level up here right now. I mean, you got to get through 265 up to 270, which I do think we wind up getting to. So we'll pay attention. I'm going to be watching 255 as a break, but we still have an hour left before the market opens. So like yesterday was monstrous. We had this trade right here, and it was, well, you guys know, we talked about this a lot yesterday. This was the biggest trade right there, breaking through 244. So P&L wise, it was big. There were some traders that were even long down here. Big move to the upside there. We'll see if we can do something like that again today. It closes at its highs, so we really like that. Momentum upside here for Tesla, up 1.71%. So we wait for October 2nd with deliveries. We wait for October 10th with Robotaxi. But yeah, giddy up, man. I'm excited to trade some Tesla today.
Yeah. All right, we're just going over some details here as far as some of these Chinese names are concerned. I mean, stimulus measures coming from the Chinese government overnight. So anything from metal and mining stocks right through to e-commerce, as we were talking about with Alibaba, PDD, JD, all higher. But specifically lithium, I saw this morning. Huge moves across the board. Yeah. A lot of the bigger lithium reserves are over in China and come from that. So Piedmont, PLL, there's ATLM is another one, Albemarle as well, ALB is another one. So mining shares right through to e-commerce and some of the EV names benefiting from this.
Yeah, and the really interesting, the battery play here, Brendo, because we know that there's going to be 100% tariffs on the EVs, but there's going to be 25% tariffs on China-made batteries being imported into the United States. That's not the case, though, for the raw material, for the actual lithium itself. So we'll have to see if these American companies or any companies that want to operate in America actually manufacture these in North America. Canada, I know we're building out several battery plants in this province. Also, talk of that being built south of the border in Mexico. So I feel like this is a way to circumvent some of that, Brendo, by bringing in the raw material and not actually having made the product all in China.
Yeah, not all, however, positive in the lithium space this morning. LAC, a Canadian company, Lithium America, but it's a Canadian company. Absolute disaster so far this year, not really doing anything this morning. 235, a little bit of a gap, but lithium stocks, guys, haven't talked about those for quite some time.
Wow.
Yeah, that LAC
weren't you and Brendan in that stock or something? Because I remember we were talking. Still are, okay.
Well. I think I was in it for a week, maybe.
In and out, yeah. Well, I didn't understand the.
Well, actually, you know what happened? So I'm trying to remember who the viewer was. It wasn't Ponzi.
Yeah.
It might have been. I don't remember the viewer, but it was like I was in that one. And then there was it was like, oh, but then here's an ETF that you could play. I'm like, oh, that's much better.
Right.
And so I went over into that. And thank goodness. I mean, whatever. Like, I probably wouldn't hold it to zero because it's $2.50. But I think the point I was going to make is not all these are if you can look at a chart of Piedmont and that's actually not that good. And Albemarle here, this isn't a very good chart either. But we've been talking about some of the the best example for charts that look like this, that's kind of adjacent to what might be happening, would I suppose be like TAN and some of the solar names in there. But this actually looks pretty decent for a rounded bottom on Albemarle in particular, a little bit of a double bottom, and it's trying to make that rounded bottom. Higher low just got put in. There's your 50 period. It's now holding and breaking out above. And this is respected, since it got down here, it's kind of been respecting that 50 period for the last week or so. I don't know if you can see, the 50 period is just right in here, and it's been all kinds of support. And you're essentially breaking out of a consolidation. That's not bad, because you clearly have 85 support under the 50 period and an attempted breakout on ALB. What's actually even better, though, is I saw someone in the chat just go, Fat Figa just mentioned, Brenda in the chat just said.
Fat Figa mentioned something?
Oh, FCX.
Yes.
This is
bad, but it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, copper not bad too. Freeport's doing some things. When do they report? Freeport doesn't report till they're mid-August. They're the day after Tesla. The morning after Tesla, so I guess that morning we'll be talking about Tesla earnings on October 17th, and we'll be talking about FCX. No, but this is like this is what looks to me like a little bit of a better breakout because it's not necessarily a bottom pick. You know, like you've already made a double bottom on a much better looking trend. Like it's not sitting there at the lows in like a completely dead stock. It's got a relatively reasonable range. Your previous support into resistance and now breaking out above that at 46. You're above the 200 period and the 50 period moving averages, and you were already doing so. And the other thing is, like we mentioned last night, and we've mentioned a few times, the old death cross. Death cross to the downside, and then the stock starts to break out. So you flash a short signal, and then the stock starts to break out. I kind of like the break because some people probably shorted it. So like this 46 level on FCX does look pretty juicy. Again, with the big gap up, you know, it's going to be like it's not really a day trading stock. I mean, it does like 100,000. It's on 100,000 shares in the pre-market. It's not much of a day trading stock, but I like that 46. As long as it can hold on to that, I think you can go trending here. I'd be careful with anything that's gapping though on news that's good out of China. I feel like the usual move is at the open, starting to fill in the bit of the gap. That's just what we usually see.
What? Oh, the way I said it. Okay, what's up? Bad figure there in the chat. Okay, so yeah, look, I have the sticky notes ready to go. It's just I'm just gonna push send in a couple seconds here. Look, I actually wanted to. I know we'll talk more about China probably. Gonna be on the watch list. And by the way, thank you to Brendan and everybody else because today's watch list has been delivered, baby. So right there, go grab the best resource on the web right now, beehive.tradertv.live, something like that. Go check the link in description. We'll have it up in a minute. Ramin, hit some sort of a button that shows everybody how they can subscribe to the watch list button. I should have a watch list. There it is. That's good. There it is. There it is right there. I can never remember what it is. tradertv.live-live.beehive. Yeah, that's what I was telling everybody. Link in description as well, Ramin, right? I've been trained well for that. So link in description. Okay, so anyways, thanks for all the hard work getting that done for everybody there today. All right, so I just was looking at Nio. I think $6 here. We talked about maybe fading some of these plays off the open. This is going to be the one for me. We're already long Alibaba. We really like that stock. We've talked about where we sort of bought that name. Averaged in price. We had been owning Alibaba for a very long time. I thought when it went from like 300 to 100, it was value. And then we got some more down there in the 70s. So we're probably close to that name. But all right, $6 for NIO. I think it's going to be a fade. We're already starting to head to the downside right now. A lot of momentum here in China. What the heck is the stimulus package anyways there in China? I mean, I can understand some of the metals moving around. Housing is still so weak, man. Consumer confidence weak in China. Housing market weak in China. Politically weak in China. Election year problem, in my opinion, right now in the U.S. for China. So for me, China is still a sell. And it's been a nice bump up, but we'll just play advantage of that and hopefully be able to fade some NIO. What I keep on looking over here for is the imbalance locator. And this is the first time I actually looked at it. Not the first time, but in about a half hour. And there it is. I didn't know this was going to be here, but no surprise. NIO with a buy, right? And so PAGs, a couple other Chinese names going to be in here. Baba as well for the buy side. So some buys coming in, but Baba's 78,000. NIO is 1.1 million. So yeah, this should get some action off the open. And I want to fade $6 to start with. It's on the sticky note. It's $6. It's also $8.44. I think I need Randy to get back over here because the coffee, although I got one, it's going down pretty nice. And it is starting to turn a little bit here. I think the high of the day is 20 degrees. It's been cold and rainy today. So
we need the rain.
We need the rain. Do we need the rain?
We got, well, at one point last week, I saw we were at like 10% of the normal amount for September.
I was saying that to Sharif. It's been like a great September.
Yeah,
as far as weather-wise, like it's
my lawn doesn't love it as much, but
oh no, well the lawn will be fine, man. Just
usually
don't you have that artificial turf, man? Come on, what's wrong with you?
I don't think I'd ever do that.
Grass is actually horrible for the environment. Actually, there's big things about that. It's a huge consumption of water. No, look it up. It's actually really bad.
Lawn care game is the problem.
Yeah, the lawn care game. Yeah, that's the other thing. Chemicals, right? Yeah. All right, back over to the desk to talk more about horticulture.
Keep in mind though.
Oh,
Apparently, apple season was terrible in this province.
really?
Yeah, it was very early. And anyway, that's all I got. I don't know.
I had an Ontario apple yesterday. It was delicious, Brendo.
No, they are typically, but it was very early apparently, and I guess because it was so wet. I don't know.
Makes
Whatever.
sense.
What are we talking about? Visa downside, pretty big way here this morning, as we said. Not all positive so far this morning. Market's still holding on to positive territory. 2.25% here. Downside on a DOJ note about Visa.
Never, Brendo. The DOJ and the FTC does not go after companies. No, seriously though, guys, the regulator is accusing Visa of preventing rivals from challenging its dominance in the debit card market, not the credit card, the debit card market, by making exclusive agreements, they accuse, that hindered the expansion of competing networks and prevented technology companies from entering the market. You really wonder how this is the case when the payment system's been so liberalized. You have PayPal, you have so many other Square that are all getting in on the action. I don't understand how Visa's dominating the market like this when the internet is for everybody. You can create secure networks. Yeah. So I'm not sure exactly.
I mean, I said to you as soon as we read this, like, doesn't every bank have this product?
I have no idea.
How is this a monopoly? But anyway, another stock, guys, that's had quite the couple of weeks here at least.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I mean, I didn't get it either, but price actions trading down 2%. So it is what it is. I tend to think it's going to get a little bit of bounce. The other thing, it was already making a turn off. Some of Visa was already making a turn off of its highs, regardless of this news. Like, you were bouncing lower, kind of putting in another lower high. So this might just be, if this news drags it down into the 50 and the 200 here, you can sort of see that 270 support. There we go. We'll zoom it out a little bit further. I think that would be a reasonable buy, to be honest with you. Oddly enough, this isn't the down stock that I was kind of looking at today. The down stock that was interesting to me, that story for Visa not making a lot of sense, is Snowflake. And it's not really down much anymore. Last night they did have the offering, and you can sort of see they plunged down about $5-6 after the close. Almost the entire thing back here on Snow. And one of the things, when you have a stock one of the things I like about a stock that's beaten up is when you get down to the bottom and you have typically bearish news that gets bought after the fact, I think that can be a good thing. Snowflake is at the low. I mean, it's a triple bottom right in here at about $107. And so you bounced once on that August 5th low. And there's very few stocks, I mean, there's definitely a few of them, that hit that Monday, August 5th panic low, made a big bounce, and then we're retesting it in September or late in August. This is one of those. And now it's bounced 3 times off of that same level. So you clearly have some buying going on in Snowflake at that 107. Another bounce here. I think it needs for a trade, you probably needed to do the full ship and break back out 115. But that's now on the radar. You've now triple bottomed on Snowflake, and the consolidation top is a double top here, maybe even a triple top at $115. But I don't know if it's going to be today. It's got to go red to green, then it's got to make another press up a couple of points, but not Visa. This is a stock that's down on the day that's on my radar. But that 115 break on Snowflake is looking pretty juicy. I don't know if it's the kind of thing that happens today. Maybe it's a tomorrow type trade. But I like the fact that they're buying this up after some bad news.
Yeah, I mean, MasterCard, Visa, American Express, I mean, all of them are just rocking at all-time highs. I mean, they've just been going nuts here. We talked about how big the retail sector has been. It's been huge. I mean, look at AXP. I mean, again, this is not like a new story. I mean, there's the August bottoms coming in at 225. Ramid! Right down there, 225. So I think that could be something. No problem. It's okay. Forgiven. It's fine. I mean, it's not like I'm going to throw a chocolate at your head or anything like that. All right, so right down there, 220, 225. I mean, I love that level. It's now where the 200 period is. It doesn't matter because it's over with. I just think that American Express continues to work. I think they all continue to work. To me, this is the best chart, bouncing off the 50, continuing to go upside. A MasterCard here. Hopefully it's a New York stock, so I don't have to change the moniker there. Okay, here it goes. Come on. Again, huge move. Could be a little overextended right now, but bouncing its head off of the $500 level. huge level again for MasterCard. The reason why I liked American Express a little bit better was this is just choppy. Like it's now broken up and looks want to break out. As far as breakout, this name is better, but this has potential to come back into the 50 period instead of just riding it all the way up. It's extended. It had a great quarter. I just think this one could come back a little bit. I would definitely buy the dips in all of these names. I believe the consumer to be somewhat strong. We'll just wait to see. It looks like American Express and MasterCard continue to be those names. So good days here ahead, I think, for all of these. I like them all, but there should be an ETF for credit card names. There probably is. I don't know why there wouldn't be, but okay, like Capital One and all that.
I don't know it.
I don't know. You think there would be? Okay, upgrades and downgrades. Let's see if there's any of these on the list.
Pretty stacked list here on both the upgrades and downgrade side. We're kicking things off here with CRM. Salesforce, someone got quite a few analyst notes last week. Today we're getting an upgrade here from Piper Sandler with a $325 price target. Comerica in the financial space here getting an upgrade from Wedbush. We have GE Vernova with this Guggenheim upgrade and Piper Sandler upgrading Colgate Palmolive. First downgrade here is actually going to be really interesting. Baidu up about 4% as part of the ongoing Chinese ADR push higher here, but getting this downgrade and a $100 price target from HSBC Securities. Costco ahead of its earnings after the close on Thursday, getting a downgrade from Truist. We have Raymond James downgrading DoorDash. This one's had quite a few analyst notes over the last few weeks. And last but not least, BP getting a downgrade from Redbird Atlantic, though it is actually up on the day right now, guys.
The force is strong with CRM right now. And like everything else, Salesforce, it's not doing too bad. I mean, I like an uptrend. And since you made that bottom right back there in May, all you got is higher lows. Wow, the August 5th, there's some August 5th lows that just stand out like an absolute sore thumb as gorgeous levels. I mean, CRM probably gave you one of the easier ones because it's right into a higher low, support there. You're not necessarily above the 200. I've been talking a lot about, hey, get back over the 50 and the 200 period moving averages, and then those are the stocks breaking. But it's at it right now. Like right now, it's sitting on the 200 period moving average set for a breakout above 270 and a half or so, and then you got 275 in here. Ken, I feel like this is like Freeport, where I own the stock, so I'm harping about it and happy to see it go up. But at the end of the day, it might not be a big day trading stock, but this is the kind of thing where it's up a couple points, market's flat. If it breaks out 275, I can see this outperforming a little bit for a while. I just want to see it close above the 200 period moving average. That hasn't really happened yet, and you're sitting on it as we speak. So, it's not all in the clear just yet. It's had resistance at that 200 SMA for a while now. You had one close above and then an immediate failure. So you kind of have to do that job next, and then all systems go.
I saw Costco over there on the downgrade list. The thing is that I tweeted something out yesterday where Costco had a 59 PE and Nvidia had 56. So the thing is like Costco's the valuation right now is stretched. I mean, there's absolutely no doubt about that as we continue to talk about retail. I mean, the last thing I just talked about was how strong retail is. And I mean, when you go to Costco, what do you have to pay with? Basically your credit card. So you're going to have to wait to see what winds up happening here. Good chart again right there for Costco. Looking like it wants to break higher. There's 900 hold. I'm going to drop right here and anchor VWAP because this is what you got to do sometimes when you're looking at earnings. So there's the year to date right here. So we'll drop. Did I drop it there? Why didn't that drop? Here's January. Let's just do that little bottom there in January. There it goes. So, the year-to-date anchor VWAP is actually at the 200 period moving average, which I guess has been 200 days. Okay, well, that would make sense. All right, so right there, 780 or so. We're not getting anywhere near there. I just wanted to see where we had been. You could see right into there. We had sort of supported before. So, yeah, I mean, I like Costco. Oh, and the reason why I want to talk about this also was you're 2 days away. So we'll be on the show actually with Danielle. Today's 24, 25, 26, right? Yeah, so postmark on the 26th, Costco coming through. I like the stock. I mean, I'll have to check out here. Do we have PE on this sheet right here? No, we don't. Oh, yeah, we do. 40 for Walmart. What did I say it was for Costco? Didn't I say it was 50? Yeah, so 56, sorry, for Costco. I said 59. So 56 for Costco, but it's Walmart. Walmart is the name that I think just with a better PE there a little bit. I think it's very, very similar customer, right? And right now, Walmart is kind of trading up, right? Like they're getting, this is what we hear about, they're getting higher, not quality, but income level customers back in there, spending a little more money on different goods, right? They're getting people in there to spend money on retail goods, on groceries, and they're stepping up and, picking up electronics. I mean, you can go there and get like, your video games. Yeah, I mean, it's like kind of like a GameStop there as well. You can get all those little toys and trinkets and whatnot. So I really like Walmart. I mean, but their earnings is not for a while. We don't even actually have an earnings day right there. So, all right, yeah, I like Walmart, MasterCard. I like all the retail space. But the biggest name in retail is still to come, and it's on the sticky note. You can get a guess on that later.
We were just talking about Costco. I just got my renewal thing, and apparently it's known they were going to increase the rates for quite some time, but it's my turn to pay more for Costco membership. So that's coming as well if anyone hasn't yet this year. There was a note from Oppenheimer, staying in the retail space as well, guys. Oppenheimer liking Home Depot and Lowe's, talking about interest rates coming down, clearing the way for people, doing more home renovations. I mean, it's not really the outdoor season at this point, but I'm sure it is somewhere. I was saying to Sharif, last time I went to Home Depot, I bought a Christmas tree. I'm sure that'll be the next time I go to Home Depot as well. But Oppenheimer liking these two today.
They do. They boosted the price target nicely here, Brendo. Not small, from 230 to 305, and a rating of outperform from perform, so an upgrade there as well. Basically saying that they see interest rates, as you were mentioning, drive demand. Also, the COVID upgrades are, they're 4 years, 3 years in the rearview mirror now, so possibly more upgrades as well. And there is they also raised the price target on Home Depot as well. I should mention it's not just Lowe's. So they boosted Home Depot up from 345 to 400. So they like the space. You can kind of tell that they're bullish on the space.
Yeah, and it's interesting if you zoom out a little bit. Lowe's actually a lot stronger than Home Depot. Here's Home Depot gapping above that recent high, but all-time high is still quite a ways away. Lowe's, meanwhile, we're gapping, guys, into all-time highs here.
Yeah, Home Depot 11 of the last 12 days to the upside. And that's the one that hasn't broken out. Home Depot, and Home Depot's actually flat today. That's the other thing, but it's still $5 away from the high. And just like Freeport or maybe some of the other names we've talked about, these are obviously solid long-term holdings and not necessarily your day trading stocks per se. Like Lowe's has done 8,000 shares pre-market. Not a single print on my time and sales is above 35. I'm not making this up. 35 shares. Every single print on my time and sales in the pre-market is less than 50 shares on it. So I don't know if it's much of a day trade, but when we're talking about things breaking tops, I think Home Depot is the one that probably has to go next, but Lowe's, yeah, it's an absolute rocket ship. This is what I mean about it not being a day trading stock. Look at the normal type of day in here for this. So I don't know that this is going to give you, fantastic opportunities trading, but what you can do, and I love to look at weekly charts here because sometimes you got to zoom it out a little bit further. And when you pull out, it's all well and good to look at a double top, but when you pull up the weekly chart, you begin to realize this is a triple top on the weekly right here on those. And so you're gapping above a monster triple top here at a 263 change on those. That's the kind of move. You close above there, and you can get some serious continuation. Close the week above this level would be key. Triple top on the weekly for Lowe's. I think this clearly is the one that's ready to make another leg into the upside. And it just goes to show, like buying quality companies. I love the 200 period moving average, especially on a weekly chart. But not one that I own, but yeah, triple top here on Lowe's. Like, forget about that double top on the daily. Triple top on the weekly. It closes the week above that, and they could absolutely fly.
Shout out to Hamster here, who says, first of all, you got to be a subscriber to be in this chat right now. So make sure you hit the like and the subscribe right now. But here it is right here. Congrats on your long-term BABA. You are Canadian Burry. Well, I checked my bank account, and yeah, not quite the Canadian Michael Burry of any sorts. But yeah, someone else said something very, very cool in the chat there. and they said they hate looking at charts. It just gives them FOMO. What's up, Hamster One? Right there in the chat. Yeah, and me too. I mean, you want to talk about like just the Mag 7 or all these names going? I mean, we already talked that the NASDAQ is not near, it's near highs, but not at highs. Dow Jones is at highs, S&P 500 at highs. Look at a name like Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, as we just talked about, Target getting going as well. I mean, there's so much strength in this market. You just have to look for it. Many stocks out here making all-time highs, making 52-week highs. Home Depot is just another one of those. Its 52-week high is 396.87. 396.87. $10 says we probably break that this week, maybe even today. So this is going to be breaking through $400 before you know it. Congratulations, anybody that believed in any of these names. I mean, John Deere, Caterpillar, all of them. I mean, we were talking about this at 350 with Danielle. Caterpillar actually had a nice dip down. Now right back to the upside. There's lots of stocks that look like this. Like Caterpillar was just 330 a month ago, 2 weeks ago. So it's added more than 20% here. So it's added almost 20%, $60 to the upside here in 2 weeks, Caterpillar. So I mean, if you think some of these are overextended, you're probably going to be right. But try to short these things. You'll be wrong every single day. I mean, look at Meta. I mean, Meta 573 yesterday it opened up at. It did fade out. It did close near the lows. So I'm not loving this stock, but 573 for Meta. I mean, it's just a lot of these names continue to impress. So let's just keep on going. What's up, Chef Joe and everybody here in the chat? It's 9:01. We're getting ready to rock and roll. We're already jacked up.
All right, let's kick things off here at 9 o'clock with a look at the overall market. So much to consider this morning, but futures hanging out here.
Yeah, 57.75, Brendo. We're still at that mid-July top that we couldn't break through. Sure, we got to 57.93 overnight, but look where the closing prints are for this range here, stemming back all the way to the 18th. We've been locked into this 57.75. So if we can get above and hold above 57.75, then we're obviously looking at 5,800, that 100-point level of support. If we do break down, let's look 57.50, guys, as support.
Baba taking out the highs here. Let's get going pretty quick. If you missed it the first time, down in the description of this video, head down there right now if you haven't done so. Hit the link to the watch list. All you need is an email address, and then you get that sent right to your inbox every single day as everything you need to know on it every day in the pre-market. 6%, almost 6% here. As I said, just took out the highs here for Alibaba. Huge gap. 90 to 95 on a new surprise. I don't think anyone was expecting this. Stimulus package coming through from the Chinese government.
Yeah, the central bank, they're lowering borrowing costs, injecting more funds into the economy. They're also going to implement structural monetary policy tools. But Jefferies analyst Mohit Kumar kind of likes this, but doesn't at the same time. He believes the stimulus measures will set up a positive backdrop for the Chinese stocks coming into the next few months, but doesn't expect fundamental changes until China takes more decisive action on its property and infrastructure stuff. The housing problem is still very present there, ever present.
And will be, I fear, going forward. 7.1%, never mind, for some of these EV stocks over there as well today.
Yeah, like obviously, like all of the Chinese names that I've looked at are up, and they're all gapping ridiculously over levels. There's no question about it. Like, there's nothing that's adjacent to like, oh, prior support's going to come in for a dip buy. Like, no, that's just not going to be the case. I mean, Alibaba. Like just yesterday, I mean, right in the afternoon show, it's like, okay, Alibaba taking out 90.5 tomorrow is going to be a thing, and we're gapped up in at $95. So you can zoom out and try to find like other levels in here. History has usually taught me that when you have this big of a gap up on the Chinese ADRs, they usually dip at the open. And we've been in this, I mean, I can remember, I don't remember the exact day, but I remember when Alibaba did this one time, trying to catch a falling knife on it. It eventually did a pretty good bounce, but you just had to really weather a storm. I think there's room to 97 if it does want to try to continue. Like, that's the obvious big resistance is going to be at $100. And if we start dipping in here, it has to hold like pre-market lows in 94, or you can really start filling in that gap. The one that's doing the biggest volume is Nio. I mean, it's always going to do big volume. It's a few million shares. It's a cheaper stock. I get it. And then another one that we're all over yesterday, like, hey, this one's going to try to break it out here. Look at that 200 period that it's holding. I like that for a dip area. You know, they're going to be injecting money and also investing individually in stocks. They're going to put money into stocks is what they're trying to say. So I think the buy, when you do dip in here, I think the buy is going to come in. If it's above the 50 period, then I want to look for longs in there on NIO. You can see it hugging already. So there's been some accumulation on that trend line. I feel like the dip and rip is good at that price. I'm not sure we see 6 first. To be honest with you, I think we see this dip into 540 here on NIO. That's kind of what I'm looking at first. I think you dip into that 200 period on the daily for Nio here. It's a buy and balance, but we've seen this story before. I feel like it always fades at 9:30.
Yeah, it will. I just hope it gets to $6 first. So I put on here today. First of all, we have DraftKings on a $40 break. That's going to be a name that we don't normally talk about on the show. And we also have Nio here, which is a name we don't normally talk about or trade, but we'll do it today. $6 short right here. Stimulus sending these names rocking. I'm looking to fade the key level. I mean, go get the sticky note at Trader TV, Sean. You can go find it right now. Over 7,000 yesterday. Thank you so much for viewing that and everything. Please like and go follow that, because the more people can see it, the better I feel like it's going to be for all of us, right? So go there, like it, and share it, all that. So I'm just looking right here at the $6 level. I actually, you know, if you're going to zoom it out a little bit and just go for a little bit of a higher spot there, 650 is sort of the top right there. You can look at these little top wicks as 620. That's what I was going to get at as well. I'm actually sitting here at 6. So it's the only pending order that I have right now. It's at 595. And it's to go short, whatever, just a couple hundred shares, maybe a little more than that. But we'll average into it and then watch out for that 620. I don't want to put a lot of risk into this name early. Obviously, if we can make $100, $200, something like that early off of a 6 fade, great. And then if we're right, then hopefully we'll be loaded into it way more than that. And we'll see if 6 can hold. So if we get up to 6 and there is, I can't see any size right now because the books only go 20 levels, generally speaking. So we'll have to wait for it to get there. But once it does, we'll be able to see if there's some big size there. So, like I said, maybe we go short, whatever your lots are, up there near 6. But why I was saying that is I wouldn't take it like a major amount of shares up there, because there is a chance that we break it. And you want to make sure that you're able to take something against this 620, in my opinion. So I think if you get to 620 today, like that's adding another, and it's great, man. The Nio longs, I mean, you guys, again, you can rewind this. And I get the credit for Alibaba a lot of the time, but you can rewind. And what we've been talking about with Nio, I said the same thing about at Micron. When Micron was at 88, I said, you can give this name $3 for upside. When this name was down here at $4, it was the same talk. We were breaking through $4. We were bouncing off $4. And it was like, you could give this name to $3.50, the bottom, to see if you can get something. So now you get that something, and I would almost do it the other way around now and look to get short anywhere at 6. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start the day short not Alibaba, short Nio at $6. I don't have a problem trading my book or anything like that, but this is a really good move up for Alibaba. We didn't get out the last time. So remember, we were buying down here low 70s. We didn't get out last time when it came up here into $88, $90, and we didn't get out again. And right now we're at a spot, I think, exiting some of this in the $98 to $100 level. What is that top right there? 97. Like, even if you just market some out right at open, if you're long in the 70s, I can't think that would be a bad decision to take some kind of profit, but I would definitely let some of this run. I mean, it was the same kind of trade that we did there on Roblox. Again, obviously not a Chinese name, but this name hit our levels. It was end of the trade, seasonal trade, right? The summertime trade for Roblox. So we got out of it here, but then left, I think it was 15% or so, to see what could happen. Roblox actually looks like it could dip back in right now, trying to find a level. But yeah, Chinese names, man, congratulations. Awesome. The stimulus packages are in. I'd say take advantage of it and short them.
All right, this portion of the show brought to you by our friends over at VinFast, Vietnam's leading electric vehicle manufacturer. They've announced their Q2 2024 financial results. Delivery surge 44% quarter over quarter, 13,172 EVs delivered, bringing their first half total to over 22,000. That's up more than 100%, 101 in fact, year over year. Q2 revenue climbing to $357 million, up 33% quarter over quarter. VinFast success in Vietnam is pivotal, driven by rising EV adoption, with the company aiming to deliver 80,000 vehicles in 2024, maintaining their commitment to a sustainable mobility future. Let's talk about Meta going into the event tomorrow. We'll hear from Zuck, the keynote speech tomorrow. Once a year event for Meta. This thing up, 20% in a month here, quietly. Came back in, held 500, has not looked back. We're at 565 here. Apparently, Sharif, they've learned from the Scarlett Johansson fiasco, where they hired someone who may or may not have been her, but most likely not, and then she sued them.
Yep, they're not going to make that mistake again, Brendo. So here's the look. Meta Connect conference tomorrow. Thank you for mentioning that. Big unveiling tomorrow. We're going to get some stuff with respect to AI glasses, augmented reality, AR glasses, augmented reality glasses. Can't wait for that. We already saw the Ray-Bans come out earlier this year. But here's the deal with this voiceover stuff. So they secured deal was celebrities to provide voices for their AI chat box. We're talking about Judi Dench, Kristen Bell, John Cena, Aquafina, Keegan, Michael K. Don't know who that is. Meta's family of apps.
Whoa. Are you? No.
I'm getting attacked. I need to finish and you can attack me later. Meta's family of apps, including Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, they're all going to get this. It's the... Basically, the look here is not to have the text-based version. So they already had these, Brendo, with their text-based character versions in their chat spots that were inspired by celebrities. Some were supposed to be quirky. Some were supposed to be funny, rude. That didn't take off at all. So maybe the voices do a little bit better.
I mean, I think the bigger part is now they're actually going to pay them for their services instead of just pretending. I'm just noting here, Blackstone and Vista Equity Partners to acquire software maker Smartsheet, my bad, for $8.4 billion. So SMAR popped up to 55 on that. Again, Blackstone and Vista Equity picking up Smartsheet for $8.4 billion.
That's an all cap.
You done messed up, Chi Riff.
Oh, no.
You done messed up.
Oh,
okay?
no.
Put some respect on Keegan Michael Key.
Chi Arif.
Are you? Come on, man. Do I have to do the Obama impersonator sketch for you to understand who we're talking about now?
He just admitted he doesn't know what it is.
Okay.
I think we should just move on.
Okay. Well, no.
I want the chat.
Yeah. We'll just move on. There's a story on Lyft. Lyft is moving as well. Lyft has a partnership. I saw a few people in the chat mentioning that one going to the upside. It was Lyft and Smart Car to partner up. It's not a huge move. Look, Meta's actually. I don't want to call it. I kind of said something like the topping tail candle of death when I turned it on, but it's not really. But it did make a fresh all-time high and then put in that rejection above it. So, whoops! I wanted to zoom out a little bit further, make the charts. You zoom out further, the charts just keep looking better and better. So I want to make sure you got a sense of the breakout that it's been putting in here through those highs. Another fresh high yesterday, and then just a big topping tail here. And a rejection of that high. And what I don't like about it is it came back underneath the opening range bottom, which is at 565. The good news held on to that support, but if it does not hold above 565 today, I'm wary of a 561 test. Like, if you don't hold on here and the market wants to go red, I feel like there could be some profit takers on Meta. I myself sold some shares, which you never feel like it was the right decision to do, but it was more of like a trim because I didn't want to have that much in the portfolio of it. But at the end of the day, Meta for me, I'm not, I know I want to look long on Tesla. You know, I feel I feel good about that one. I know I want to look long on Micron, which I guess we're going to talk about next in here. And we'll talk Snapchat and Alphabet as well. But Meta, I'm not at that point. I don't think. Like the way that it rejected yesterday, I just feel as if we lose this resistance from the afternoon, I think a test of that 561 support is coming into place. I'm not incredibly bullish on Meta. I know they have that Meta Connect event coming up, but yeah, it's flat today, which isn't the worst because it's exactly what the NASDAQ is, but I feel like there's some stronger names today than Meta.
Yeah, I feel like you want to watch out for these events that have been happening, but Meta is still a very, very cheap company. 28 on the PE. I mean, you might think that that's not that cheap, but I think they should be outperforming the market, right? The market PE right now, I think is 22 or so. We'll have to, I'll double check that as well. But 28.5 right now for Meta. I said what it did yesterday was not the greatest. We didn't open up at the highs, but we ripped up to the high and then just all day long, had a lot of momentum behind it to the short side. And the thing is I looked at this yesterday. We talked about this on the on the PM show, afternoon show, that I wanted to look at yesterday's kind of close, and this would have been Friday's close, because we did have that big rebalance dip in, and I thought that there was some kind of support down here at 562, 563. So when we saw that little bottoming candle there, it made me debate taking this trade. And I regret not taking it because of where we went to, with only giving it a little bit of risk. So I think down into here to 562, if the worst case happens here, this is not the worst case, but if you do get a move down into 560, 562 for Meta, I think it's a buy down there. I mean, as long as the market holds out. Yesterday we were feeling... I don't know why this is a bear. Yesterday we were feeling bullish, so We'll do that again. Yeah. But Randy, whatever Randy wants to do, Randy can do.
Randy, man.
Yeah, man. That's my. The other pool right now, I'm 6-0 in my other pool because of Josh Allen. He didn't even have a great game, but he had a good enough game.
Yeah, well, the first half was ridiculous.
Those guys are. Yeah, they're not going to.
I'm mad at fantasy though because
I don't think they're going to stop.
I apparently am 2 and 3 and second in points.
Yeah, I'm 4th in points and 2 and 3 as well. So we'll see. But like you said, you faced Chuba, the unstoppable Chuba Hubbard. So and now I have Andy Dalton.
He's Canadian
now. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
it's from BC, I think, right? Okay, so anyways, there goes Meta. Huge stock. I feel like it's not my largest holding, but it's in there now. It's getting close to it because Google is on the precipice of not doing anything. So we're going to have to wait to see. I should actually double check. This may not still be my largest holding, but it was at one point due to this move down, maybe not. Apple's trying to go. Everything's trying to go. And I know this is a Meta story, but I'm just waiting. Like, I really think, as soon as Google can get above this 165, which is the 50 period, and then we take this 167, it's 1 or 2 stories away from us coming in at 170, and then this thing's at 185 before you can blink. Note Amazon. YouTube is, hi YouTube, thanks for broadcasting the show. YouTube is a monster, right? I mean, and that's a huge property for Google, let alone, I can call up the PE of Google right now if you guys want to look at that. But the same thing that happened in Amazon. Amazon dips down, spends the time under the 50 period. We're wondering, can it break 180? Can it break 180? When it does, it breaks it. It might have even broke it. I don't even know if that was intraday. Scanned up, 185, now 195. So this move can easily happen in Google, and here's hoping that it does. Again, talking up their own book, but I like Amazon today. That's another sticky note level. Let's go talk about Taiwan Semi and Micron as we get to more chip names.
Yeah, both higher here to start things off. Again, this morning we've come off the highs for MU, but still holding on to 1.3%. This is kind of a non-story. More funding or potentially funding coming through for both. From the U.S. Commerce Department this time for Micron. But more importantly, maybe it's tough to see up there, but yeah, earnings after the close tomorrow for MU. Yeah,
that CHIPS Act, Brendo, there's a lot of money earmarked in that act for, obviously, the chip companies. Gina Raimondo, the U.S. Commerce Secretary, yesterday saying the following: today represents an important milestone in the implementation of the historic Chips and Science Act. We announced the first awarded agreement with this company, Polar, not one that we obviously look at on the show, but they're not the only ones receiving money. Texas Instruments, $1.6 billion. Micron, $6.1 billion. Taiwan Semi, not even an American company, going to get $6.6. Intel obviously benefits the most out of that. $19.5 billion for Intel. Far and away the most allocation out of that act right now.
Yeah, we'll see if there's any reaction. I think, the bigger trade for Micron at least might be coming after the close tomorrow. I was just double checking here. We're not too far. It's still a couple of weeks, I guess. Friday, October 11th, the official kickoff of earnings season. So a couple of weeks to go. But
that was quick.
Hey, that'll be Thanksgiving as well for us.
For Canadians.
Yeah, good old Canadian Thanksgiving. It's always good fun. You get 2 Thanksgivings around here because my family, because of because we trade U.S. markets. We celebrate it. We celebrate U.S. Thanksgiving. That's the time we get off, and we always do a little something for that. And then, Canadian Thanksgiving, a little extra turkey. But Micron, I think Micron, because it was already breaking out and going into earnings, it can be a trade. I don't care too much about that news. We knew they were getting CHIPS Act money. But it was breaking yesterday. It did break out of a long consolidation down here at these bottoms. So 91.5 was gone on yesterday's breakout. And we did join the move a little bit late. Probably should have had the original break. I just feel like you pull back into previous highs and can bounce and hold green. Like this is 93.5. I look at 94 and say, let's go for a different rip on Micron. And it's not the only chip name that we should be paying attention to. Now, understandably, Nvidia, a few dark pool wicks in there. Nvidia had a bit of an inside day. If you look at the last two sessions, you got 115 bottom, 117 top. That 117 just refused to break out in yesterday's trade. So we're at 116.5. I think today it makes a run at it. Like this is 2 days worth effectively. I mean, it wasn't the full session on Friday. I guess that it was under, in that channel, but for most of the session, it was 115 bottom, 117 top. I think we're actually breaking the 117 today. Never happened. It looks like we're poised for it, consolidating higher on Nvidia. Those are the two levels to trade on the stock. I mean, it's either breaking the 17 or retesting 115 even. Pick and choose which one you want. I'm still going for that break.
Look, yesterday we had written down there, this is going to be your trade of the day, so alert everybody to your sticky note trade of the day. Yesterday we had Nvidia 115 written down. The day before we had Nvidia written down 115. The day before that we had Nvidia written down 115. We can continue, but it's still on the board, man, and it keeps on holding. So I really like that level. Go find the sticky note at Trader TV, Sean, everywhere. Make sure you hit the like and the subscribe. I do not have Micron on the list there. I've already said my Micron piece. We've actually done really well on Micron. We once faded the $100 level. That was huge as well. I thought the same thing about the Chinese names that I do about Micron, and that was, there's an opportunity to buy it. We just talked about this when it was at $88, because I remember, because I have a very short-term memory, and it was just here a couple days ago when we started to get some of these reports. It was at $88, and I remember saying for $5, a little bit less than that, it was $83.50, so yeah, $4.50, $5 worth of risk. You have an upside play there. So you're already 1-to-1, so bang on that one. If you did hit Micron, I did not personally take it because we talked about the risk with earnings, which I still think are there. So for me, it is a puff pass on Micron. We will not be trading that today. Nvidia, though, is an absolute no-brainer. This continues to be one of my top stocks, and it's because we picked these levels out, man, and yesterday was 115. So bang. We had that trade. We had that level. Nvidia was your trade number 2 yesterday for P&L. We had number 1 was Tesla. Number 2 was Nvidia. So there it goes, man. We'll just continue to be here. We are your trade for Nvidia. So just continue to watch. You see me in it. Hopefully it'll be a profitable trade. We hit it yesterday. We hit it pretty good, man. We were long into that 15. I remember that's when Neil hit the short, made some money on the short, and then we just sat there at 15 and ate it all up, and then put it right there at the top of the board for the top P&L. So good name there for Nvidia yesterday. There was that dip that we waited for yesterday, and it was a... So let's just continue to see if it does that again today. It's 9:23. If you're watching now, then you better be watching in 10 minutes when this market opens up. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. We're just getting going.
All right, Starbucks... Hey, look at that. It's green after that gap to the downside this morning on a negative Jeffries note and downgrade across the board. But this thing is, what is that, 1 red candle so far on this chart. So it's straight higher here for SBUcks right now.
So Jeffrey's not liking Starbucks, downgrading it from hold to underperform, also dropping the price target to $76 based on yesterday's closing print. That's assuming a 20% downside off yesterday's close. The Jeffrey analyst basically just says that their ability to overcome challenges quickly is going to really be put into question. Also, he doesn't really know any of the plans of the new CEO. The operational and culture issues are quite pervasive, according to him, and the valuation is considered unjustified compared to its peers. So, and they're also predicting low EPS growth below consensus for the rest of the year. So Jeffrey's really taking a bearish view on Starbucks.
Yeah, market doesn't care, clearly. Right back up for Starbucks. Snowflake, another one worth noting, guys, was down sharply after the close yesterday. We're not green yet, but trying here at least for snow as well.
Yeah, look, the thing about Starbucks is, until it makes that $100 breakout, it's just been a high 90 short. And it's been a great long, but like recently, it's just been a high 90 short. Like you can see the resistance on the daily chart up here. Everything about this is pointing towards, another higher low. Bad news gets bought up. Bad news getting bought up usually means it's bullish. So for the trade, I don't really have any long levels that don't involve the low 90s. So it's either breaking out 100, and to get there, it's going to have to be a short first in front of that 100 level on Starbucks. $2 away from that, so many other things are going to come into play. I mean, Nio still kind of holding around here, still got that buy imbalance as well. We just already talked about Micron and Nvidia and the chip names, and we went over a little bit of. We haven't talked about Tesla, I don't think. Yeah, let's get through Starbucks so we can get to Google, Snap, and Tesla.
Yeah. All right. So we've already sort of said our piece about Starbucks. We're out of the majority of our position. We took a great long. Honestly, I think we got somewhat lucky on it because at least we took them. Again, it was away from earnings. We had seen the sort of the bottom push here. I don't know where that part of the chart is, but we had seen a nice little hold there at 74.75, which is where we wound up going long on Starbucks. Then we get Brian Nickel out of nowhere, which was huge. And then we just sort of saw these tops. Once we faded off of $99, $100 the first time, that's where I wound up getting out. So I feel like I got out in and around here, $95, $94. I feel like this is a good level to hold. Let's just see if it does do it. I don't really care about all these upgrades and downgrades. Those kind of things aren't catalysts for me, really. It has to happen near key levels, and there's no surprise. They're probably short in and around here, around $100, trying to get this name down. And let me guess, they're going to upgrade it when it gets to 92. Like I'm just honestly, these kind of games do not entice this guy to get into trade. So, anyways, Starbucks would be a muted trade for me today. But I mean, again, I like the 92 level though, so I think that's a buy there. I think it's a sell up here. When you are exactly in the middle of the range, it's a hold. But as Brendan mentioned, nice move to the upside right now, trying to go, but well underneath the market. For me today, Starbucks would be a no go, unless we're going to Starbucks. Then I'm down.
All for it.
Then I'm down.
They got cookies.
Randy. Hey. Snapchat and Google. I mean, quickly, Snap getting AI from Google. My phone is asking me what I would like to do with Snapchat. Snap is incorporating Google's AI into their platform. There's also a Volkswagen headline that's kind of cool as well for Google.
Yeah, I was telling Sean this morning, seeing if he was going to get this up, right? Google is providing AI capabilities for Volkswagen in-app driver assistant. It's part of their strategy, obviously, to develop enterprise AI applications for cars. Essentially, users can ask questions related to car maintenance, like how do I change a flat tire? They also can point their phone camera at the dashboard, and the Gemini, which is it's based off, it's using Google Gemini here, can actually look and read and basically give you suggestions on what to do, how to change certain settings. So that's kind of cool. This is all part of the multimodal processing, Brendo, that these large language models now are being able to comprehend, like text, image, and video. It's not just one way.
I can't wait for this. Yeah. I'm totally down. Sign me up. You'll be able to have a conversation with your car.
Sounds good.
Went like 70, 80 cents up. I don't even see it on the imbalance locator. The imbalance locator's got Nio at 2 million, 2.2 million, Alibaba at 600,000 in here, but there was just a spike in Apple, Alphabet. So Alphabet, I'll try to keep it really simple, 161.5. 3 days in a row, 161.5 has been essentially the bottom, and the top is 164.5. Snapchat, I don't think it's not much of a trade for me because it essentially gapped early and filled in the gap and is not doing any volume on there. But maybe quickly, Tesla, I'm going to look for continuations today. It gapped over $250. So got to look at pre-market low here, 252, and then a need to hold VWAP. I think there's room to 260 on Tesla, but 265, however, I think is a short level on Tesla. I don't know if we get there today, but after what happened yesterday, 4 or 5 points is very reasonable. I think 265 is a short on Tesla. I go trend long into that level. So a bit of a spike on a few NASDAQ names here without being on the imbalances.
Look, we wrote down yesterday, we don't want to miss Tesla. I mean, yesterday was the biggest trade. As I've told you guys, was the biggest trade. What's up, Andre? Right there, thank you. Was the biggest trade on the floor, period. Not just for me, on the floor. So we're going to wait to see if that can happen again here today, breaking through 255. The order's already in. Let's see if we can get it. VWAP pullback could easily happen. So if we break through 255, I'm probably going to hold this $1. So I just, we got to play the momentum. If the momentum is not there, then we can fly on that one. We also have Amazon as a breaker on the sticky note as well. That's going to be 194.50 immediately. So there's lots of stuff happening, and it doesn't look like it wants to stop. So this market going to be opening up at highs here, Neil. So this opening bell is brought to you potentially by Firefly.
Yes.
There it is right there, revolutionizing brain health. All right, 2 and 1, let's go. The market's open. We're ready to rock and roll. There it goes. Amazon will probably be the first victim. Nice little push through there on Amazon. We are now long at 56s on Amazon. And Neil, we did it again. Let's just make sure we can get out first. Bang! There it is. It's a monster trade there again for us on Amazon. A quick little 50 cents in the pocket. Now let's wait to see what happens. Hopefully Amazon continues to go. NIO, victim number 2. We begin the short now on NIO. Let's see what winds up happening there. But there it is, man. Let's take a little bit more out on Amazon. Good little pop through to start the day. Wow, big trade alert.
Yeah, right away. By the way, Nvidia just broke out the high of the day as well. The 117 just came in on a break. We said we were going to take this one. I got to get over to MU in a quick little second. Nio, for me, I was looking for a dip initially, but it's actually going into the upside.
I don't think it's open yet.
It's not open yet. Nio's not open. I'll check Alibaba in a second. Tesla, by the way, is moving to the downside. And Nvidia, big seller at 117.30. So initial spike up just got to the 30 level as it's trying to break out. Apple is also going higher. But the Nasdaq's reverting a little bit here. Okay, is Nio even open yet? What is going on with Nio? I don't think it's open. I was checking for Alibaba as well there. Sometimes New York stocks take a little bit to open up. Alibaba looks like it's open and heading back into the downside. So that one's certainly fading as that one's starting to come back in here. And then MU, Micron, was looking dip into 94. It's falling into that 94 level. Previous close 93.5. Just looking for it to support that level as it's starting to come back in.
All right. What a day. It's starting immediately here again today. So let's just keep on going. There's Nio. We talked about where we were short this name. We talked about why we wanted to short. We are short right now. So there it goes. What a trade to start the day right there. It's a couple chicken dinner winners for you with Amazon out near that top. We still have a piece of Amazon, so let's wait to see if it goes. But look what we're doing on NIO. Again, we keep on... I mean, Nas is going to have to send me some money at some point, but it was written right here at 568. That's a good little trade there for NIO, and we're in it. So good level there. We took some 80s. Nice move to the downside. It's another one. It's NIO, and there it goes. So Neil's got the long on Nvidia here. We're long on Amazon, and we're short on Nio. Big trade alert on NIO.
Okay, I forgot to mention, DJT is short sell restricted. It went down 10% right at the close yesterday. I am looking SSR bounce off of the $12 level. So first things first, going to go back over to Nvidia. But if this makes a curl at the even dollar, I am looking for an SSR bounce on DJT. Want to give this back into the into the 16 half level on Nvidia for this break. It just dipped in. Oh, dark pool wick. There we go. It just dipped in and got to about 90s. Now it's going to try and press back into the 16 and a half. If we hold 16 half, I want to look for reloads on that. So just to give you the idea of the plan of action there, here comes DJT into that 12 even. It looks like it might have already wicked. I might take a shot at this off of the current low at 12. I'd rather it go into 12 even specifically, break 12, regain 12, and then look for the long. And then the other thing we were mentioning yesterday was a flat bottom break. This is on my notes for Moderna. Moderna is very close to that 64 flat bottom break. It hasn't happened yet, but I'm still looking for the flat bottom break on mRNA. Not a lot of volume here at the open, though.
All right, so a good retracement down for NIO. We are out of more than half of that trade as we take another one at 71 right there because we are starting to come back up and we want to try to take advantage of some of these early moves, which we tried to do as well on Amazon. Actually, now just realizing that we're just dropping in a little bit here on Amazon. So down to 193. If we lose 193 right now, the pre-market lows, we're going to get out of this immediately and then just be down on Amazon. So, I mean, there it goes. It was a nice break early. The market is falling the other way right now. So I see we're battling with two longs here with Nvidia. Hopefully that's holding up. Amazon really right now is not. So we'll wait though. We have another lower bid here at 193. If it holds, it holds. If not, you know, again, there's that 20,200. We wrote that level down yesterday for the futures, and it didn't hold yesterday. It didn't get to there yesterday, but basically it faded off of it right there at 2001. So right now we're gonna have to wait. But yeah, stuff is coming down right now to the downside. Tesla's trying to go back.
Tesla's going the other way.
Yeah, 255.
Tesla is screaming back into 255 as well. So three things happening at once. Nvidia's trying to get back to the 117. I picked up some in front of 116.5. My price not great. It is 116.85. I feel like that should be 75. Just wasn't quite precise enough with it. All right, this is probably going to happen before the chance of DJT, but you got to make a choice. If Tesla's going to break instead of be dip and rip back into 250, then I'm going to go for that in lieu of DJT. But I do also have DJT up for a bit of a reversal as well. It's through DJT's through 12. So I was looking for it to break 12 and then regain it. It's not really regaining that 212 level. So it looks like it's just going to be a fade on DJT once again. Yeah, I probably should have just shorted that stock like we do every day.
Yeah, is that $10 yet? I mean, that's when it hits $10 is
1180.
1180. Okay, so that's going to hit $10 soon. All right, so from hero to zero right there on Amazon is it just goes back in. So again, you take that 30 was a bit more than that 194. Oh, sorry, that's still that's Amazon. Yeah. So there's the 194 break. Our best outs were 195s and change. Then we averaged it in and lost it on the end of the day. There, we're still holding a small piece just to see if it wants to bounce a little bit because the market is having a few wicks to the downside right now. So we'll see if we can buy back some Amazon. I mean, we often get early flushes, and this could just be another one of those cases. But again, it's only 9:36, so we don't want to. We talked about having a great month, and you could throw it away by a couple easy mistakes. So let's not, well, we won't throw away our month. Trust on that one, but we don't want to make sure that we don't screw too much up here. So we're going to go long on Amazon, and that bottom right there, why don't we just wait for like 192? Looks like 192.30 could be a good bottom there from yesterday. There's one that's, sorry, I guess just the after hours there, 192.30 or so, but you know, using some of those levels are very, very like wishy-washy. There's no real constant levels here. There's that 192.80. So I feel like this is probably a decent spot right into there. There's 192.40. So if we lose that, we lose that. We're not really going to be leveling into this trade by any stretch of the imagination. So let's go over to Adara as we wait. Nio back upside, as I said. We've already cleaned up some of that, but here comes Nio. Here comes Amazon breaking through 193 again. The market's going to have to hold. We're under VWAP. It's probably time to look short.
Nice push into high of days here for BNZI. This is Banzai. This one's run before. It actually was rallying last week. This morning announcing here a $24.8 million debt payoff and restructuring agreement. It's actually going to involve some participation here from insiders within the company. Worth noting as well, for context, smaller market cap, about $13.5 million in very small float, 427,000 shares, guys.
How are floats even that small? Like, I don't even understand what's going on with this market. So I did a bit of a double out there. I already had an order at 117, and I threw another one on Nvidia. It just bounced off the 116.5. It's retracing toward the high. So I'm holding through high of the day. If you're looking for upside why is this DJ? If you're looking for upside targets on Nvidia, 118. And then a break of 118 has room to 120. So I think it's trending to 18, and then look for a separate trade 18 into that 20 level. DJT is still making a. I mean, it's still. Tesla just broke as well. Whoops. All right, I was on DJT. DJT's trying to make a bit of an SSR bounce, but Tesla just broke 255. So I have it up. I already had an offer at 255.50, and we'll look for 255. Like in front of this 56 level, so I'll look for some 90s as well to the upside. So Tesla going, Nvidia's going, DJT, we might not actually get a retrace through that 12 even. It's still looking incredibly weak. Sometimes, like I said, it probably should have just stayed a short instead of looking for an SSR bounce because that was the win off the open.
All right, so we got 20s there on Tesla. So I don't know, I guess it's a pretty bad fill, but that's okay. Here it comes back to the upside again. We will start to clean out some of this position here on the upside again because we've already had Amazon fail on the break. So I don't think Tesla will, but you know, we are. I don't want to say we're licking our wounds because we're not. But there goes Tesla again. It's a sticky note banger right there. Yeah, man. Let's hit those home runs, man. It's a big one there. Good job there, Neil. Look at this, man. It's 255 long. It's Tesla, and it is fantastic right now. Almost $1 in the money. So good trade there for everybody that has it. It's Tesla. If you missed it yesterday, we got it today. Good trade there, Neil. Let's go back over and see what ADR is up to.
WVE, another small cap on watch here. Wave Life Sciences currently at high of days, maintaining pretty solid volume here off the open, announcing some positive data for its Duchenne muscular dystrophy treatment trial here. So good look for that treatment for WVE. Worth noting as well, this is a bit of a larger market cap. We're talking about $666 million market cap, about 100 million share float, guys.
In a party like it's your birthday.
We gonna sip a party like it's your birthday.
Because, you know, Tesla, honestly, like the way we've been trading Tesla over the last couple days, I mean, banger, and more bangers. So there goes Tesla, $1 in the money there. We took some out. Let's now wait to see what happens, man. And again, you cannot be afraid to use bigger share sizes. And if you are, then like I've told you, man, wrong business. We keep talking about trade the pool. Trade out of prop firm. Why? Because you could take bigger risk. Here at Real Trading, this is what we're doing every single day. So that's a chicken dinner winner right there for Tesla. So let's just keep on going, man. Keep the good vibes rolling right now. We did also short some more NIO up here at 86. So let's see if that one drips down now as well. Yeah, so there it goes, man. Nice trade there. And again, this is what it's all about. You know, we had written this down, and I could see, obviously, there's traders in the same trade. So it's a good trade there at 255, good breaker level there for us. We need Nio now, and then it's Amazon going the other way right now. So we'll test down for Amazon, but it is making moves to the downside. It's a good thing we have that Tesla chicken dinner because other than that, this is a little bit of a problem now for bleeding, Amazon. And Meta's bleeding down. So, all right, we'll take some more out there on Tesla in the 80 level right here. Let's see if it can really go and make us feel a little bit better about our Amazon trade, which just keeps going down.
Yeah, so Meta just broke the low of the day. Apple is testing lower. Meta is flushing here, guys. So Tesla's good. Nvidia is fine, but we got to look at what is relatively weak because the market is threatening to turn red. I feel like when this happens, look, we lost 561. I know we went over that and said I felt a little bit bearish on Meta, but at the end of the day, we didn't look for it as a breakdown short. So should have it if you're looking for a short trade. To me, that was an obvious one. Tesla, I think there's going to be like a 260 level. Every $5 is going to be a big deal, so I want to look at that 560 for an out. Nvidia, we already went over at that 118 level. DJT, still in the plans here. It's now holding the low, so here's a wick bottom and a bit of a better reversal candle here on DJT. So big volume bottom, 1175 low. Just looking for an SSR bounce here in DJT. So probably going to try and get this bid and give it to 1175, the local bottoms, for the first time going long in a long time.
Oh boy, again, man, just bring the money through, man. Make sure you're following at TraderTV, Sean, at TraderTv.live, all of us there, and grab the sticky note because you can see it right here. It's clear as day what we had written down here for Tesla. 255 long break into 260. So, I mean, here we go again, man. We're here for you every day. Yesterday was the #1 trade, like I said, on the floor, and it looks like it will easily be that here again. Let's just wait to see. Actually, I don't know if anybody behind us actually has it today, so I'll have to double check that, but we do. And there it goes, man. Nice move for Tesla. Glad to be in this name with Neil as well today. So good trade there. You know, you can't pass it. When you see the money being made yesterday, man, you got to kind of go right over to the stock again. Good breakout there right now. Okay, Amazon is feeling ways now, so it's trying to get back upside. We are now flat on this portion of the trade for Amazon, but we need more. We need more. We already took the hit on AMZN. We're waiting at 193.30s right now to get some of this out. I may just take a piece right now. Can we get 25? Yes, we can. Sold right there. Nice play there for us on that name as Amazon. We just get a 30 level all the way back. We're now 18 cents in the money on this one, but we need more to get climbing on that. It's your banger of the day, man. It is Tesla, and it just keeps on ripping. So there it goes, man. And again, just different styles. I'll hit it with a little more shares and just scalp it out. Neil's holding for that 260. So let's go, man. I really hope that 260 can come through. Either way, man, lots of ways to skin a cat. Let's go to the upside here for Tesla. Let's see if Nio can hold this level. Kind of disappointing. Alibaba, let's have a big look at this one. 96, but now fading out is Alibaba. So let's see if Nio can follow suit on that one. Oh boy, guys. Tesla right now. Let's just give it up, man. Where's Ozan at? Where's all my guys at? Where's all my girls? Where's all the traders at right now as we come through? That's some money rolling through there, Neil. It's Tesla, and it is fan-damn-tastic. One more time here today. It's as if we do this every day.
Well, every single day the market is open. You can't do it on a holiday, although it'll be fun to try. There's always a market open. The best thing about real trading is that there's 24/7 offices. There's certainly, you can even trade crypto, although you do have to have the market open for the ETFs, guys. Look, Tesla, I think it's still going to go trend up. So looking for a place to reload, VWAP sits at 254, but the previous high was 254.50. So I think a dip back into that level is going to make some sense here. I did go into DJT, went over that plan. If it breaks a fresh low, I'm out of it. And I paid for locates. I'm willing to short that stock again. Just it's SSR today, so looking for the bounce. Nvidia dipped right into the 116.5. So we grabbed that dip, kind of a bit of a double out. That was a mistake. Still want to be out in front of 118. Need to hold a higher low. The market's coming in here. And in terms of looking for some short opportunities, I don't want to fight anything that's looking strong. And the shorts that I think would have set up are not at levels that I like. Moderna does not break 64. It actually holds on to that 64, but still like a double bottom breakdown on mRNA. It's just not there right now. Might have to short a pop on this if we can get to yesterday's tops instead.
Okay, spin it more for, I mean, look, I know there's a lot of people that are trading NIO, but right now NIO is making a move to the downside. And I know there's people, again, that are short, there's people that are long, all of these names. And I just want to say, like, you know, whatever positions we take, I'm mostly scalping them out, obviously, as you guys can see that as we go. So I just want to say that don't think that, you know, we're trying to hold, or I'm thinking about holding levels down or anything like that. Auto cancel off so we can get some more shares there. All right, so just quickly here. Tesla, again, I'm thinking about just holding this. I mean, we do have another out there, 256.9, 257. We could put an order at 257. Why don't we just do that? And then we'll get another piece out of this if we can in and around 257. So we'll just play it by ear and see where we go on that play. NIO, we just got, okay, we got a 74 fill there, waiting for a little bit lower, trying to respect the fact that when we opened up, we tanked, but then we got bought up. Like, we actually have pretty much the bottom of the day there on NIO. I don't think it's anything to, like, you know, worry about. I do worry that there was this big wick and then everything was bought right back up. So I'm a little nervous about this. We are trying to cover some of NIO. We are not trying to cover really any more of this name, and that, of course, is going to be Amazon. So let's wait to see what Amazon wants to do now. It's starting to get going a little bit. We just touched out the 200. We did get a piece out when it faded. Let's see if it holds it. I think VWAP is possible. Definitely 50 period possible as well. We've lost on Amazon. So I don't want this to be like one of those names where you guys think that we're actually winning on this trade. We'll go two for three today with a loss here on AMZN. So we'll hold it and see if it can get that money back. But right now, we are underwater on that play. We are not underwater on Tesla, as that is coming back in, though, a little bit. So we got to be careful here with TSLA.
Yeah, I mean, a few things starting to come back in just a little bit. But I like the bounce happening in Apple and a couple of the other tech names that were weak. DJT just got to VWAP, so that's going to be first target. It's not pre-market lows, but there was a bit of resistance here at 12.10, missing some data in there, but you can see. So want to get that, and then high of day here at 12.30 will be out of DJT. If it gets to the high of the day, I'm probably thinking a reversal and looking for the short. So we're going to try to ring the register on this. Tesla's still trending to the upside. Obviously, Nvidia is still looking okay, but I want to acknowledge what might be pretty. What's with I'm missing? I'm going to close some of these charts and reopen them again. But 15 minutes showing all the data. Double top attempting break on ARM. ARM is churning to the upside as well. So looking pretty good there, as I said. Like these chips long. Nvidia after this break, I think it's the 118 level. I want to be out in front of 118 if it fails this top again. It already came in here once. 117.5. If it fails that high again, I want to jump out and look for the rebound trade back into that 116.5 level. So still just the same three names. Tesla's pushing. Alibaba, I have not taken a second look at. I thought we'd gap fill down on these. Alibaba still has an inside day. So, I mean, it broke the high, came right back in, 95 to 96.5. It didn't break the low, and it looks like it just wants to trend upside. So I was looking dip buy on the Chinese ADRs on an attempt to fill the gap in. That just hasn't happened. So we're sticking with the names that we happen to be in. Yeah, we're starting to pull back in here, however. Yeah, well, Apple's right back into the lows. Nvidia's right back to 117. It went from like $1 in the money to 50 cents in the money right quick there on Nvidia. So the market, it's trying to hold, but they're being dragged down by a lot of Mag 7 names here.
Yeah, for sure. I like that Nvidia. I didn't realize that was all the way up there. That's a good little run there today, being positive today on Nvidia. We should look at that one. That's a good call there. I'm getting, you know, like we got some out there. I'm just talking about the positions I'm in right now. I mean, Nio's coming back in. Well, we're short right now at 82s. Am I bidding? I thought I was bidding. Yeah, I'm bidding some 75s right now. So that could be a take for us right into there if we're lucky enough to get it. So hopefully that will come back in again for that one. FedEx is ripping. Okay, there's probably lots of stuff that's going on. I just want to talk quickly about, okay, there it is. So we do get our last, this is Amazon. Oh, I don't have the offer. So if Amazon breaks 192, we are out. And we are out pretty quickly on that one. I'm not even going to hesitate. Let's put our offer in on that. If we get hit on this name, we are out. So that's going to be Amazon. Watch out right here for a nice move down. We did buy some of that dip down there into the 30s. We got, how many extra shares did we, actually we got 40, sorry. We added about half back in on that one. So we'll wait to see. Right now, decent move up now. Let's get something out in the 70s, then hopefully we can climb even higher here on Amazon if it does revert back up. But this is a very slippery slope, man. I thought retail was strong today. We talked about some of the credit cards and how we looked at that, but looks like we'll be wrong on Amazon today. Breaking through 192 is a failure, that is for sure. And then right now, man, I mean, we're having problems with Tesla. I mean, let's just see. It was a dip down. That was a huge flush in the market, by the way. I didn't even notice that. So let's just wait to see. Maybe we do get a little bit of a beat back here with numbers coming, I believe, at 10. We'll get to those in just a minute. Palantir's dumping. All right, we'll have to look at all of these stocks. I'm very sort of pigeonholed right now with Amazon
Tesla's just fine.
And Tesla. Tesla.
Snowflake is, whatever. It's not going to break yet.
I feel like as long as, man, I mean, we have 192 on here, 194.50. So the 192 long for Amazon, that dip buy opportunity looks to be the best. So we just got it. So we should have waited for that, but we did play the breakout. But the breakouts remain king right there. We talked about that it was the best trade yesterday. It was the most money I've made on Tesla in a very long time playing that break yesterday. So I'm glad today that many are on this name one more time. So congratulations again. Great trade, Neil. Great trade for myself and hopefully great trade for everybody behind us as well and for all of you watching. So again, Sakino Nation remains supreme today. What's up, Adara?
This part of the show is brought to you by Benzinga Pro. Tired of being late to the trade? Always playing catch up in the market? Missing out on the big moves because you're too slow to the news? Benzinga Pro is your unfair advantage. Get breaking news alerts up to 30 minutes before everyone else. Pinpoint exactly why stocks are moving and join a thriving community of traders who share their strategies in real time. Ready to see how Benzinga Pro can transform your trading? Visit benzinga.com/pro and get a free 14-day trial.
Yeah, visit that Benzinga Pro.
Yeah, thank you very much, Adara. And okay, so DJT is about to get to the pre-market highs. And again, like do your own. Everyone does their own thing. It's an SSR bounce play, which is like kind of like a gimmicky idea. And to me, it's a station-to-station thing. Your SSR, because you were down 10%. This stock is down like every single day. 7 out of every 8 days or just whatever. Like look at the daily chart. I don't even want to get into it too much. Anyways, I'm just taking it station to station. We looked for the first available curl around the $12 level. It didn't hold 12 even. This was on volume. This is the reason why I entered the long. Again, it's easy to see. Biggest volume candle happened 939 on a reversal wick underneath the low. So we went long first consolidation, play to the high. If it goes higher, great. I almost don't care. I'm looking for a place to probably fade this. 13 even makes some sense, or the pre-market highs coming in as we speak for a bit of a curl trade. Nvidia is still trying to hold on to VWAP. Tesla is allergic to VWAP right now, which is a good sign. As the market came back in, it held 255 even. Next time it does that, if we can make another bounce, I think it should be a reload spot on Tesla. In terms of looking for shorts, this is weird, but like Intel's up. However, since that news was announced, so the speculation, I should say, because we don't know if there's a deal, 23 quarter is the top. I feel like if there's no actual details or anything happening, this should be a fade up there at that 23 and a quarter. FDX is moving. I'm seeing what about Palantir. Can't really cover everything. I'm really just sticking with the two names that are working. I'm going to hang on. If we get a reload opportunity off 55 on Tesla, we go for that again. But Palantir is looking rather weak. Selling the news today on Palantir. Just want to point out, though, this had a huge rally off of 36.5 yesterday. So if the futures stay on an inside day, I want to respect any support that's out there. 36.5 and 35.80 was the buy. I like 35.80 yesterday. Never came anywhere close. 36.5 on Palantir for those asking about it.
All right, so let's ring the register again here, spend some money here. And again, you can't make money until you're out. So we take another out right there on Tesla. So again, that's what it's about for me. Trying to make the best plays we can, trying to do them on decent sizes, and try to make some winners. So right now it's too bad because I'm getting frustrated with Amazon. So let's just look somewhere else. Oh, we had DraftKings. Oh man, don't even tell me. Let's have a quick look at DraftKings. Okay, so we had looked at DraftKings, so it's a good thing this is still here. We don't have it out yet. We're looking at DraftKings at this level, and that level, of course, is 40. So that $40 break happened early, but then it just came right back in. So, hey man, maybe not as great of a level here as we thought for DraftKings, but let's just have a quick look to see if it breaks that high. I mean, I think that 40-30 where we're at right now, that could be something that we would look at there for a breaking spot for DraftKings at this point. But the market right now down, right? We never really want to be looking for longs when the market's underneath, especially a stock that's not trading sort of the way we had planned it to trade, which is why Amazon's bugging me. Let's just check out Apple quickly. The other name that we have on here is Nvidia. I know Neil's been looking at that. We're still short Nio, so that's a feather in our cap right now, but not by much, man. We're barely in the money on Nio, so we'll have to have another look at that. But so far, so good on the day. Apple 228 break could be something. That's definitely right there as well. So that could be a trade that we look at, Apple. But for right now, it's Nio, it's Tesla. Tesla right back up to those highs, man. What a great stock Tesla's been. Congratulations, anybody, again, that's in this name, but we'll still have to look for some more. I'm just going to hold out hope that eventually Amazon does something. So that's what I'm on right now, is AMZN, looking to do something here. But that's it for me right now. Just trying to take the best opportunities. We said on our sticky note that we'd try to focus here today. So that's what we're trying to do, is wait for these opportunities and then get the right plays at the right time. So yeah, we'll have to wait for NIO.
Holy crap.
Maybe it comes to $6 eventually.
Wow, Intel's kind of screaming into those highs. So be careful.
Okay.
Be careful what you wish for. This is about to tag 23 even. All I was getting at with this is, look, when the Qualcomm, I might have said, I'm pretty sure I said Qualcomm last time, but Qualcomm potential deal, they said they're maybe not buying or might not be interested, but Apollo wanting to invest in them. It just double tapped, in the afternoon, and then 23.30 here. So look, you're going to get there. It looks like you're going to get there. I still think that's a fade. Tesla just made another run at the high. This is like the third time it's trying to go through 257. It does not see VWAP just yet, but if we fail this one, all right, so usually my rules in the opening range, if you fail this high another time, I'm usually getting out here. I'm going to do so and then just reload at VWAP. By that, I mean I'm going to trail this one on Tesla. So we're just canceling one stop because you can only use this one time. And I'm going to trail us. If we fail the 257, actually, wow, that was fast. The second I put the trail in, I'm out of Tesla, and we'll look for a refill right back in the 255 or 254.5. We'll hold on to Nvidia. That's holding the higher lows as well. And there's just so much weakness in the market, and I have nothing that I like short that is, Intel's strong, and that's the stock that I'm thinking to go short on. I should be looking at an Apple or a Meta instead, like Apple holding underneath. I just don't like shorting at the bottom here when I'm overall still kind of bullish on this market. I'm going to have to do some work to find something that I actually like to the short side. I'm not going to force any trades. Oh yeah, and DJT. So I got out at the pre-market high, goes all the way into 1270. This happened super fast on DJT. I was looking for 13, maybe a curl, but that went to 1270 and dropped 40 pennies in an absolute instant. So, whether you got out or not, just remember this is a pop and fade type of stock. in a general sense. You got to take profit somewhere. I thought it was a 40-cent move. That turns out it was more than that, but I'm thinking I'm looking for the fade at this point on DJT the next time it revisits 13.
All right. Amazon, unfortunately, is going to break before we get the number coming out, so it looks like this one will continue its, took some water there. Its downside move. The number that we have coming out is consumer confidence, so as well as Fed composite index. So, okay, are we on Amazon? Yes, we are. So we're long at 65s right now. I'm going to try to get something out if it comes into the 40s again, just because we've been chasing this name the whole damn time, and it's been not great. So we'll have to be patient with it, obviously, as we sit here, but we're already getting out on a 192 break. We'll have to take basically one loss there, and then it looks like it's going to break now. Oh, it's only 30 seconds away from this number, but again, on the push down, we're going to get out. So
going
here
to
we
a
go.
dare for the number.
We are expecting. It just looks like it came out minus 21. I just heard in my ear. So versus minus 19, so a little bit worse. So there it goes, man. Slap that last little fail here on the breakdown of Amazon. Never want to get out right away. On a move like that, but it looks like this move is real and happening. So there it goes. Okay, maybe it's going to bust up a little bit here. Let's just try a little bit more of a long. We'll get some back in here on Amazon and just give it to that 190. Well, now it's going to break lower here, 191.79 or so. Now that consumer confidence is officially out. So, all right, 98 point something for consensus.
Oh, wow.
We're ready for Adara if you want to flip over there because she has the numbers. So, all right, let's go, Adara.
We actually got that Richmond data earlier, so that came out a little bit before 10 o'clock, about 30 seconds early. Richmond Fed Manufacturing Index, lower than expected here for both manufacturing and manufacturing shipment index. Manufacturing is coming in negative 21 versus consensus of negative 17, forecast of negative 13. Richmond Fed Manufacturing Shipments Index, though, sharply lower than forecast here. Forecast negative 6, actual print here, negative 18. The number we just got here on time, the consumer confidence number here, CB, consumer confidence. This one also a little bit lower than expected, 98.7, consensus of 103.8, forecast of 104. So actually in the double digits, we were looking for a triple digit number here for the CB consumer confidence. Sharp downside move here on the S&P 500 as we get those numbers here. We were actually slightly positive here on the day, pushing higher and then continuing to drip lower right before the open. As we can see here, that downside move definitely continuing with that 10 o'clock number. We also are digesting comments from Fed's Bowman coming through. Not a lot of other economic data to watch today, but be aware of some names like PDD. A lot of these Chinese ADRs and some other names are moving in sympathy as well. We have copper, lithium miners, reactions here to China's largest stimulus since the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020. So keep an eye on some of these sympathy plays there. Also, we have Visa actually making a sharp move up as the rest of the market moves lower. But Bloomberg reporting there could be a DOJ probe in V's future, guys.
All right.
Sharp move up in Visa? No.
I don't know, man. We don't like those probes.
Visa was tanking the last I looked at it. So a couple of things. It goes right back in. I'll get to Tesla, but Nvidia dipped at the same level that we got it before. Tesla on that same move dipped right into VWAP. We grabbed it at VWAP. It pushed right back into 255.5, and now it's retesting the low. So I didn't find a short to jump into. We reloaded both the longs that we're in. One of them we're able to get back out there for 70 pennies on Tesla, but we're retesting some of these bottoms in here. Let me just get over. Yeah, Intel's at VWAP. There's just no opportunity for me to short it at this price. If it's trending upside and bouncing off VWAP, that's a trend up, and I'm not going to sit out in front of that one and try to short the stock. I liked it for the short, but that was much higher. We just didn't find our way into any of the shorts. You can slap the fail on all you want, but all I did is buy the longs that were working to the upside. So Tesla in here, Nvidia as well off the 116.5. DJT, I still think can be a bit of a fade, but it's screaming higher. It doesn't care what the market is doing. It's just going to move on its own. If it breaks the high of the day, I'm looking for the 13 level to fade. But there goes Tesla. Like, Tesla just did not hold on to 245.5 and VWAP the second time through. And then there goes Nvidia. So we had to ring the register, but the reloads fades now as we're going to Adara again.
This part of the show is brought to you by Firefly Neuroscience. Firefly Neuroscience is revolutionizing brain health. Our groundbreaking brain network analytics technology is transforming care for patients with depression, dementia, anxiety, concussions, and ADHD. With 15 years of research and a wealth of brainwave data, we're set to illuminate the future of diagnostics and treatment. Pharmaceutical companies and medical practitioners, get ready. FDA 510K cleared BNA technology is here to supercharge your clinical trials and enhance patient care. Join us at Firefly Neuroscience, traded on the NASDAQ as AIFF, and be part of the next big leap in neuroscience. Ignite hope, one brain at a time.
We won't make back what we lost there, but we've talked about flipping up our game plan a little bit, and that is that when a key level breaks, we have to go the other way. So we should have done that on Amazon before, but we had written down 92 as a key level for us. So once it broke it, we stepped out, but then we stepped back into the short. So right now we have 80 cents the other way. So it's going to be a good trade here at the end of the day, but still lost too much early on this trade. We do put on more shares when it's earlier on, and right there, Amazon loses it. We tried. So we'll be up on Tesla. Tesla's, we talk about it. It will be my number one stock, obviously, but Nio's trying to do that as well. Right now, we just tried to get, so we got out there at 256.50. We're holding about that 10%, I think, if it was that much. We tried the 254. It lost it. So we got in and out of that like as quick as we could get in. We got out. So that was an easy one for us on Tesla. Still kept. And that's what you have to do, right? We talk about trying to preserve capital, and you're not going to be right on all your trades. And on that one, we make sure that we stay green, obviously. Not obviously. I mean, we throw profit away all the time. But right there on Tesla today. So don't take the big risk when the market's a falling knife. Just flip up your game plan like we did there on Amazon. I mean, now it's 50 cents in the money, back now to the downside. We still like the stock long term, obviously, but just for right now, it's a downside push now for AMZN. So I hope for a lower push here, but again, that's a little selfish. And there we are right now. Look what's happening, obviously, to this name right now. We'll punch some out. We'll take some half prints there. You might have just saw some go through. We'll take some out at 71 now, short 82 on NIO. So this is a good trade. I mean, although we will fail on getting out of Amazon early, we now take $1 in the money on that one as that's breaking now to the downside. And Nio right here, as we attacked earlier, a decent opportunity right there as well. So yeah, man, so far so good. We just got to keep the momentum going right now. And right now it's short off a couple bad economic numbers.
Yeah, that number took a lot of the retail names to the downside. As I was looking across the board, a firm was tanking. I got out of my longs. The one stock I was actually looking for short, it just, like I said, Intel just never quite got there. But in terms of bleed, so retail, this is a firm which is really, really tanking. If you're looking where the big acceleration is, shout out to everyone in the chat that was mentioning how weak this is to said downside. Like you're essentially about to break a flat bottom if it loses about 42 and a half. Not a flat bottom, but a big support at 42 and a half. I'd look to pop and fade this. The name that's actually coming into play is DJT at 13. However, so remember DJT. Okay, so we could have held on to that one a little bit better. The winning trade's a winning trade, but I didn't think DJT was going to move this well to the upside because it's DJT. I didn't think it was going to go 5% up, but now that it's here, it was 13 that was a resistance the previous day. Well, I mean, the high was actually 1380, but the lower high was actually 13 even. Every single time this has made a bottom, look at it, retrace into key resistance and then fade it. The last time it did it, it was previous day lows. So it was previous day resistance at 13. I feel like that's going to be the next play in here. Let's go back to Adair. I still also want to short pops in Intel if I can, but let's go to Adair at the desk.
Just be aware of Novo Nordisk here. CEO Lars Jorgensen is set to testify right now before the Senate. This has to do with regards to the pricing of weight loss drugs in the U.S. We know Novo Nordisk has their Wegovy and Ozempic. So just keep an eye if you're involved in NVO. CEO Jorgensen currently testifying, guys.
Oh, yeah, they're gonna have some problem with the pricing there for sure. Okay, so let's just keep on the same notes here. Amazon, big win, man. We took $1 on that one as that just came screaming right back in. So for me, a good trade there on AMZN. Good thing we reverted into that short, right? We talked about how nervous that trade was for us on the long, which it was, and now we're just trying to figure out some levels on what we want to do right now for Amazon. But it is looking like it wants to come back in a little bit here. So we just take a bid there at 81s we got. So that was the low. Pretty lucky to get that. Let's see if it can hold out now. AMZN on that low for the day right now. So again, retail names, as Neil mentioned there, starting to get hit a little bit. Nio does not want to break, so we'll just kind of hold on to NIO and see if anything happens right here as Nio just kind of hovering around this 70 area with a decent amount of volume, 36 million shares. We said that we would want to fade the Chinese plays today. That worked. What did Alibaba do? Alibaba faded as well. So I feel like those were good ideas to fade China there today. If you had the long early, I guess it was fine, but about 940, a brisk turnaround there for the Chinese ADRs. So we'll continue to watch out for that. I'm hoping Nio can get some of that love back down as well. And there we go to the downside again on Amazon. Amazon continues to crank lower, man. We made a good decision there to reverse this trade off of the posted 192 key level. Nice downside move here for Amazon. Really saving us again is being able to get that feel for the market. We talked about that yesterday. And then just saying, this is going lower. We got the trade. It's not acting the same way. Get away from it and then react later on. So far, so good here for AMZN as it's pushing lower. And yeah, we got it. So we're pretty proud of that trade. Let's just see what the next trade is, right? I mean, Nvidia probably pulling into some key levels as well.
Well, a lot of things pulling into some big key levels. The NASDAQ, by the way, rejecting a 20,000 breakdown for this little bit of a wick here. So the overall market attempting to hold the 20,000 on the NASDAQ. Also some, I guess, yesterday's afternoon support on the ES is also holding. But 20,000, I think, is going to be the big one. DJT just did this move off 12.9. I kind of feel like this is a bit early on it. And I grabbed 78 in here, trying to get out some 70s. I'm not going to hold this to the high. I think I'm just going to get out if it breaks like the 85 level and then wait for it to actually get to 13 even. So want to play a little bit of caution there. Intel just went red to green, green to red, now holding underneath. This was one I wanted short above 23. It holds at 23. I'm looking for the VWAP hold underneath now on INTC. So was looking short in Intel. I think it wants to oblige us here underneath VWAP. Tesla, okay, Tesla's not at 250. I think I wanted to wait for that low, and Nvidia wasn't at a level I liked either. So it's just Intel at VWAP. I'm looking short. We're in DJT. Let us know what else you guys are looking at. I've seen a lot about crypto. Coinbase, Mara, a lot of these names moving around pretty rapidly. Coin breaking lows of the day. MSTR was flying earlier, but Coin just did a reversal. Bit of a local double top here, 175, and a bit of a reversal to the downside. So Coin, I think, trending down, whereas MSTR, along with a Bitcoin move, was screaming and still working back into the high of the day. So I'm in Intel, but as I said, I think I was early to DJT, the short, the way that was screaming. So I'm going to get out, I guess, for a smaller stop than I normally would, but I didn't like that entry point. MSTR strong, Coinbase weak. Not sure what's going on with Coin specifically, why it's not going with the rest of crypto.
All right, 116. We missed that trade on Nvidia. That's too bad because that was a great one. All right, so we're back longs. We got a new position right now. Everything else is the same. But new position alert. Right now it's long Nvidia at 50s, so we'll see what happens. We already took something out there at 70. We'd like to, something, 10% out. I mean, it's the same thing. Hey, my name is Sean. We'll take 10% out there. Hopefully it can keep on going. We are only 10 cents in the money, so we're looking for a little bit more than that. We did clean out of the Amazon. We talked a little bit about that. We still have a piece left. I don't want to say we cleaned out of it because we didn't. We still have some on Amazon. About 20% left. Let's get a piece out because if Nvidia rips, then we're pretty sure Amazon will obviously rip as well. So we'll take a 191 fill.
Oh my God.
Hopefully it'll get better for us and even go lower. But for me right now, I have many more shares in Nvidia. We have about 5 times the shares in Nvidia that we do currently on Amazon. So hopefully that name can continue back up to the high side right now. Number 1 stock for me today is going to be Tesla, then Nio, and now we're working on a brand new position here with Amazon. And thanks, Rob, for the Live in Meow refresher right now. Tesla, I think, can get bought. I mean, we've already missed that bottom at 253. I only wrote down 255, so might be another break long here at 255 on Tesla.
Yeah, it's frustrating because Tesla did actually give 51 at the open, and now it's put in a higher low. So it's all well and good to say, hey, now we have a bit of a trend forming some higher lows. If it tries to hold this, I think we might get an opportunity at it. DGT is now coming to 13. I think it was right to get out in the 80s and then wait for it to retest that 13 level. It was Nvidia. You already mentioned Nvidia. The other name I wanted to get to in the chip space was ARM. I said early ARM was looking strong.
Nice.
Underneath VWAP now, so throw that one out. So we're short Intel at VWAP. ARM also looking relatively weak. Just going to go back to the well and say Nvidia above 117 has been good. I got out on the reload when it couldn't hold 116.5. I thought you were retesting 115 even at that point, but holding the higher low, trying to break back out the same way Tesla would just be an over-under at that same 255. I feel like Nvidia 117 can be the same sort of story. Look, Palantir is still falling to the downside, but that 36.5 from yesterday is about to get tested. If it doesn't hold 36.5, 35.80. There's only two levels I like on PLTR, and I feel like it's going to make a test of those levels. We're only in Intel.
Oh yeah, I gotta find some more.
So we're just in it in front of VWAP. So this is VWAP here at 22, like 62. I'm short at 57s in here, 56.5 actually. I took a midpoint fill. We're gonna get bids out in front of 22.40. That was the afternoon low on Intel, the only position we are in. Shout out to JKL in the chat. Appreciate you. Appreciate you for the super chat. I am an Nvidia homer. They tweet about R&R yesterday. Could you take a look for me? Curious if I should jump in for related play to Nvidia. So I didn't actually see that tweet necessarily, but we're here to talk about price action. I came in bullish on a 117 break because of nice consolidation, 2-day consolidation on Nvidia here. I don't know what that looks about. It's at 116.5 down here as we speak. It broke out. It couldn't quite get to that 118 that I liked for a target. And if it can't get back above the resistance, I mean, it either breaks back out here for re-entry longs into 118 or it retests down to 115. Like, that's the way I look at these ranges. Like, this is the range I want it long when it's strong into this level, the 117. If it's not, we get out and we wait for the lower level. So I'm just step to step here, station to station on Nvidia, and I'm not seeing a great re-entry just yet, but I am getting close to wanting it. We just got first target there on Intel. That's still holding underneath VWAP. If we lose 20,000 on the NASDAQ again, there's probably other shorts as well. I just keep looking over and still finding some long dip buys that I like for now.
All right, yeah. We bought some Tesla. We bought some Nvidia here, so we're buying these 50s and just going to see what happens. Right now, Amazon continues to flush. So there goes Amazon. We got some out at 191. We talked about that one. It is continuing. So thankfully for us, this is what's happening right now because we are able to make back not what we lost, but we may be able to put back something back in here on the short.
Again?
We actually took it twice at 192, so able to put some shares involved right there. Nvidia, come on, man. I'll take something out at 68, but I'm not going to be happy about it. I mean, that's been the highest it's gone right here is 70s. We are buying some off the 200 period. Let's see if it gets back upside right now. NVDA, Boeing, Tesla, Starbucks right now. We talked about that a little bit on the pre-market. Okay, there it goes, man. We are now, okay, at least we got $1. We've had a couple dollar winners. We also had $1 loser on Amazon. There's Starbucks now breaking underneath VWAP. So I wanted 92. I was saying that this is really in the middle. So it's actually a nothing burger. I just wanted to have a quick look to see what it was doing. Wow, Amazon is bad. So here goes the Amazon flush, man. It's flushing in pretty darn good from what I can see right now. Down into 116.50, continuously going lower and lower and lower and lower is Amazon. So just watch out now for that trade. It's amazing that we're able to hold out hope on Nvidia because it's right here again. I might just take something out right now at 63 for a dime. There it is. We'll take a piece out. I mean, I'm not beyond doing something like that on Nvidia. If the market's going to go the other way and some of these Mag 7 names are going down like they are, I mean, this is now $1.30 now on Amazon, continuously lower, then you know at some time you got to kind of like throw in the towel a little bit. Apple just turning red right now at 226. So there's going to be buying opportunities for sure. It's just a matter of market being down right now, 0.3. Needs that little bump, man. And I'd like to see it get back to 20,100. I would fade that, but I think that's the bump that we're waiting for. So maybe we have 50 more handles back up to the upside. If we have that much, I mean, the market is definitely pushing here. All right, so there's Nvidia down into the 40s. We're actually waiting for more at the 20s. We'll take a little bit of a dip buy opportunity now on Nvidia as it's coming back in. So let's see. Will the market hold 20,000? It didn't want to do it before. Will it do it again? It's right in its crosshairs. Crosshairs right now? Yeah, like, so let's not think that this is very far away. We could get taken out right now. 115 out on Nvidia, and fine by me. That will be an L if Nvidia hits at 115. Nio, by the way, is tanking.
So for everyone looking at this bonsai or whatever, BNZI, whatever that is, it's not bonsai. I'm just going to call it bonsai. It's halted. The current tap is flat. It's a NASDAQ stock. It doesn't always update the theoretical auction price for us. So for now, should open up in about 3 minutes or just slightly less than that. And it's indicating a flat open. It's a second halt. Already halted, I think, at least once today, maybe even twice. So BNZI, it has a halt. If I saw a tap value, I'd give it to you, but I just don't actually have any data on the tap. Nvidia, if it's not going to get to 115, it's already double tapped and gone lower high in here. So I know Sean's in it at this level. I'm looking for the bounce. If we're holding 20,000, then it's the longs that I liked that I want to go back to. I don't want to long something that wasn't part of the plan or that isn't relatively strong. Nvidia is still green, so it's about to test this lower high at the quarter level. That's where I want to jump out back in front of. And I could show you the contrast. So this is Nvidia, higher low, holding on to previous close, and then look at something like an AMD, like right at the bottom. So I know which one I would rather take a shot at long, right? Win, lose, or draw. If you think one of the chips are going to bounce off 20,000, you've got one which is bleeding and already red on the day, and then Nvidia, which is at least trying to hold on to those lows. I am short Intel off of VWAP. Again, this is just a rejection of the news level for me, like rejection, lower high, and then lower high into VWAP. Structured trade, like a stair-step down trade on Intel, usually finds its way to the bottom here. But if 20,000 holds, this might break VWAP. I reloaded it, but the out is right there above 62, and I'm short at 57. So it's Intel, so we're risking with slippage 6 cents.
Yeah, that's too bad. I was, I'm gonna have to just take less shares here. Oops, that's NIO. We just got missed down there on Nvidia at 25s, unfortunately, or else that would have been a much better trade, and we would have had much more shares down here. We still could get filled, but it's really just flat for me right now. We're long here at 40s, so we'll have to wait to see. We've been pretty patient with this play as well, waiting for this. We wrote down 115. I mean, today doesn't look like we're going to get that low. We could get that low, but the first stage is 116. That's what's been holding. So we'll have to wait to see if it still wants to do that. Nice battle back too for Amazon, as Amazon's trying to get back up there to the upside. Let's take a little bit out here at 40s on Nvidia if we can. There we go. We got some there at 42s. Again, I like the stock, but very slippery slope today, trying to find some longs. So we'll wait and be patient for that. NIO, I said tanking. It was a mistake. It came up on the scanner there, hit the 200 period. I thought the 200 period was a lot lower than where it was. So we take a fill out right there. Good trade for us today. Never in doubt was the Nio short. But, you know, covering some now. We are out of 3/4 of NIO, and a decent out for Nvidia, but it's pulling back in right now too. So what's up, Adara?
This part of the show is brought to you by Trade the Pool. We got a great update from Trade the Pool. Now it's even easier to get funded. As you know, Trade the Pool built a unique program to evaluate stock traders like yourself and provide you with the company's funds to trade with. It's real shares, and you no longer need to worry about the PDT rule, but that's not all. I have some exciting news for you today. Trade the Pool has introduced a new tier with $20,000 in buying power, making it easier to pass the evaluation and speeding up the process of getting funded much faster. That's right, it is that simple, and it works. You don't want to miss this opportunity. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description for more information. For small cap recap today, we're going to get right into some of these small cap gappers, starting with Maison Solutions, MSS. This one not near its high, but holding nice support here, up about over 100%. Having more than double here on a year-over-year basis for their Q1 sales. So nice Q1 sales report sending MSS to the upside. We also have BNZI. A lot of people talking about this one. Worth noting, they have a very small float, around 427,000 shares from what I was seeing. They have run in the past. They were running a bit last week. Steady volume. Halting a couple times here, though, too. They also did just announce here a $24.8 million debt payoff. This is also notable because their market cap is at just under half that, around $13.5 million. Last but not least, WVE, Wave Life Sciences. This one is a slightly larger market cap, around $666 million, announcing some positive data from the trial for its Duchenne muscular dystrophy treatment. So these are the small caps, quite a few on watch, guys.
Well, I know what that spike was.
Broke there.
So I'm gonna slap the
Yeah.
I'm gonna slap the fail.
Sorry.
It was just a big spike in the market, stopped out the quarters on Nvidia, and then it didn't just break the quarters, it broke the evens pretty much in one shot. I have a 3-minute chart up, so it's maybe not the same effect there, but in that same moment, to the downside, there was this flush. Like we broke 2250 on Intel, and it was at, like I was getting filled 50s and then 40s almost in exactly the same shot as that's heading back into the low. DJT pulls back in, but this is now it's bleed as we just lost 20,000 again. This market is, that. When was the last time? I can't remember the last time I hit that key, to be honest with you guys. The NASDAQ losing the 20,000 level. I wish we could have found a few more shorts in there. Obviously, it would have been nice to have. It's a weird moment when, like the Tesla long still probably, it was a great long. We curled out. It couldn't hold VWAP. At least there was one little dip. I think 250 is the next spot. But when I zoom it out, 250 is just that high yesterday. The actual support was all the way down at 247 in the afternoon. So you could always bleed a little bit further. DJT, look, I said wait for 13 and then got in at 78 the first time through, stopped it out at 85, then waited for it to actually get to 13. Just pull back into 1270. What's weird about this is it's holding a higher low here. So DJT doesn't care about the market. If it doesn't VWAP retrace, I'm not reloading the 13. This could easily squeeze higher. When the market decides it wants to go down heavily, squeeze names can get some juice. So I'm not reloading 13. It either pulls into VWAP now to get me my last out, or we just get out in front of VWAP itself. So let me just I'm just going to get on the bid here. I want to make sure we grab that in front of 40s. It's about 41, 42, that's VWAP. I'm going to sit in front of VWAP, stop out in front of 13 even on DJT. Obviously, the long should have been held a lot longer. But what are you going to do at this point? So we got Intel work into the downside, Tesla close to that 250 level as well. And that it's not necessarily bonsai. BNZI, Banzai, fails 10 even on the reopen, dips into 9 and is trying to retake 10. So it did fail to break on the reopen, still in a bit of an upward trend. I'd be very cautious with this. It's done 24 million, but the spread is varying from 5 to 10 cents at times for a $10 stock. I personally don't want to trade this unless it settles at VWAP or something, so I'm staying clear of BNZI. A little bit spready, not as much liquidity as you would think.
Yeah, no, I know there's some people in the chat looking at that name as well. So we'll try to do something similar to what we did on Amazon. I mean, I don't know if it's going to work similarly as it did on Nvidia, as it did on Amazon. 190.50. I'm going to put a little bit of a bid here. We might as well start to cover some more of our Amazon trade. We'll put some bids at 190.75. That seems like that might have been the bottom there. So we'll wait to see if, come on, one more. Apparently there's maybe a bid for Nordstrom right now. We're trying to
there's a lot of deal speculation for them now.
Yeah, there always is, right? Always family or this or that. So we'll have to wait to see here what happens with Nordstrom getting a nice little bump up. Did we get that Amazon? No, we did not. All right, we're bidding 75s. I hate when I'm doing this and then we don't get the fill. And then we're that close to it. So I'll put it right here, whatever. I'll go the mid 80s. Okay, there it goes. So we'll take a little bit of props there going short on Amazon. That trade seems to have worked. So at least that one was good as we go short there. We still are short on Nvidia. It just pulled back to flat for us. It just bounced off of 116. I'm trying to give this one to 116.50. I feel like 50 cents is like a drop in the bucket for Nvidia. If we can get this right, then we can cash in on this. But for right now, the market is trying to think about 20,000 again. This could be a bad spot. The market could want to go upside right now. And if it does through 20,000, then we'll get stopped out at 116.50 and call it just a mishmash of a day where we were long early, which was wrong. Actually, I mean, the Tesla long is fine. The problem with Tesla right now is where it's at. It's at 251. So a nice little move down there for Tesla. So this is what's making me nervous. I could see some bouncing spots now, including 250, including the market at 20,000. So what goes up can still go down, and we're going to wait to see what happens now with the market. Nice downside move. Have we potentially found a bottom now on the NASDAQ? Here's a longer term look at it. I mean, I I think 19.9 looks something, right? I mean, if you're going to break down below, which we just did, we just wicked the bottom of 19.96. But there it goes. There's the take of 20,000 again, as I see. So we're at there, 20,100. So there goes Tesla back up to the upside. Could be a good 251 long bounce there for Tesla, as a lot of these markets are trying to recover back up. You know, we'll give some back here, obviously, on Nvidia, as we made some money there long, gave it back short, and now we just sit in this L for Tesla. We're out 25 cents, or sorry, on Nvidia. We're out 25 cents right now, and maybe we should have covered for flat. Average in, maybe here at 30s is where I'm waiting, but for right now, let's just hold out and see what happens with Nvidia. It looks like it wants to make that move higher right now. Damn it.
Yeah, I mean,
we'll see.
Current president Biden's talking right now, and there's been some geopolitical discussion as well. There's some rockets, Israel. There's been those headlines going as well, but that might be weighing on the markets. I don't know. I just reloaded on Intel. Like, it just, after that last move to the downside so rapidly, it just snapped right back up. So a big snap back to the upside on a few names. I mean, at least what I was watching here. So I'm shorting back into VWAP in those 50s. I'm not reloading DJT. I think that belongs in its own bucket here today. Should have looked at AMD maybe a little bit closer, because AMD is the weakest of the chips that I've seen. And the daily chart, 200 period rejection last week. And then you're essentially looking to fill, like, that 200 period rejection. You just broke those lows. I think you could fill this gap back down underneath. So that 200 period being underneath, this could easily be trending back into the 50 on AMD. It's just relatively weak. I should be shorting this instead of something at VWAP. So I want to look for the next available pop in AMD. Let's see what's going on in the world of crypto and how it's holding up in this market reversal, Adara.
Bitcoin not holding up particularly well here in this reversal. We're near a low of days right now on this daily chart, cracking below the $63,000 level. When I pulled up this chart, we were above 63,000. So certainly feeling that pull to the downside that we've got with the rest of the market. It's worth noting too here on the daily chart, after a 6-day streak of wins, we're now getting our second red candle in a row. Yesterday's pretty much a topping tail candle here into that previous area of interaction, that $64,000 level. So this could be kind of pivotal for Bitcoin. We're already about $1,000 down from that point. Right now, hovering just below 63K. Ethereum down a little bit more so after leading yesterday to the upside. To ETH down about 2.5% here, just holding on to that 2,600 level. Rest of these names a little bit mixed. We have some downside moves in names like Toncoin, Avalanche, Ripple, but then we also have BNB up about 1%, Dogecoin barely holding on to positivity, Cardano doing quite well here, up about 3%. So very mixed bag for crypto, but the two lead names here, Bitcoin and Ethereum, pushing lower, guys.
Wow.
Cardano,
Yeah, if you're up today, that's good.
Oh, man.
Seriously.
We got, yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
No, I was going to say, on days like today where you get a reversal like we just did, I feel like the things that have maintained strength you should really like. You always try to eliminate, or not eliminate, you try to put things into different buckets. Like, just as I was saying that, I should be shorting AMD, blah, 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 it's much weaker, it's trying to catch a bid. So just very quickly going to run you through the thought here. Yesterday's lows or double bottom in and around 155.25. The opening range, forget about the opening range. This nasty wick down here at 10 o'clock was into 155 quarter. So I was looking short this consolidation to that quarter. And as quickly as I'm in at 55, like, it just starts breaking up. But that was the thesis. I wanted to short the bottom consolidation, still at VWAP on Intel, but even that's starting to bounce a little bit here. So Intel, we reloaded it. I'm still working with 62.
The market's going to go now.
Probably not going to turn red on it, but I think we should have been more patient. If it loses VWAP, I don't mind reloading this one more time in front of VWAP. In terms of anything long side, Tesla didn't quite get to 250, which I kind of half talked myself out of to wait for 247, but it bounced off 250 and a third. So we probably missed a dip buy on Tesla. Sometimes you should just stick to the plan and take the long if it sets up. It's the one long that was pretty clean the entire way, and look at it bouncing off that 250 even on Tesla. So for now, DJT and Intel still holding on. Market trying to put in a bit of a bounce. I want to find something strong that I'm not bottom picking on for a long trade, and I haven't really come across anything yet.
All right, we're just kind of like babying this trade here. Maybe we'll get something out at 116 flat. We told you we were taking 116.25s or 30s there, so we did average that in. Now we're short at 116.09 here on Nvidia. My out's going to be 116.50. I just want this to I don't want it to flush. I mean, I do want it to flush. I'm short everything. I'm short Nio, by the way. I mean, I can sit here and talk about, all these other names until I'm literally blue in the face or broke in the pockets. But for right now, I mean, this is a good trade here on NIO. Let's just punch them out. I punched them out there, got 68 halves right there. I didn't even notice that we had gotten these fills because I was too obsessed with everything else. But there it is, NIO. Again, we talked about fading this trade, so we did that. Good move down, and we never have enough shares on the winning trades, but we have enough this time because we got reloaded. We would like a little bit more. We talked about what we were taking there, just a little bit, and then, as it opened up, we said as it gets closer to 6, that's when we wanted to put on a few more shares. So now that this name is down 20 cents, it's a good one. No matter what kind of shares you have, that's a good name there today to the downside. We'll just check out on Alibaba one more ADR. So still underneath VWAP, still not performing that well is Alibaba. Come on, market. You can do it, man. You can flush back in. All right, so we do get that one right there. We'll ride the bear on Amazon, although early it was the bull, late it was the bear on Amazon, and that was a good trade back in. We'll see if it breaks 190.50, but right now, futures are just at that spot, man. It is what it is. Right now, we wait for a downside push on the NASDAQ if that does happen. Some more outs there on Nvidia near 116, but this name also not really participating the way I thought it would. Hoping for a downside push. You looked at AMD, it was pretty weak.
You know what, I got wicked out, but it's right back underneath. It's still holding the same bottom. We're still under 20,000, which to me, under 20,000, we just wicked that level. Still in the bottom consolidation. I'm just on the offer trying to get back in here. Fill, no fill, just no fill yet. All right. There's a refresher at 10. Give me a break. So I'm going to see if I can get 7s in there. So I just took 7s. I was sitting at 12. There was a refresher at 10. I punched 7s. And then, of course, it goes through that 10. The news on Nordstrom was actually that an unconfirmed rumor suggesting that Ryan Cohen would launch a bid for the company. There's been a bunch of buyout rumors from internally and for Nordstrom's for a while now. Obviously, Ryan Cohen gets everybody's spidey senses, I guess, going, but this is an unconfirmed rumor for Nordstrom's on the daily. I mean, this would, if it squeezes through 24, that's pretty spectacular. But it got to the high of the day and stalled out. But just keep an eye on this. It's just unconfirmed rumors, and if 24 goes, I feel like this could really, really squeeze on JWN. For now, it's just at the high of the day, so anyone that was looking at that news, I think it's an interesting catalyst, but no confirmed report there. I don't want anyone thinking, hey, there's a bid for Nordstrom's. We haven't seen anything concrete with that just yet. So back into AMD, still in DJT, which is at the 80s. I'm short at 99, literally. And then we reloaded Intel. Probably should have got it right throughout VWAP, but it just wicked into VWAP. I'm going to sit mid-50s again and see if we can pick that one back up. So the shorts, to me, are running the day here. So you had to be able to flip over. Tesla was a great long, but it's threatening to go red at this point. Even the strongest names are falling here.
Yeah, we're just hoping that a strong name is not Nvidia. So we're short. We just got more short. It's coming in a little bit here. I'm bidding some in the 20. Let's go to 85. I was bidding some in 70s. There's a lot of volume right now hitting on NVDA. So let's just see if we can sort of absorb some of that volume to the right side here and get a couple more prints. So we just got a 90 right there, 91 actually, to be honest. So now we'll wait to see if there is more follow through. A lot of volume turning over here at 116, like a lot. It doesn't look like it on here, but I can see the way this is moving when it was there it goes. So there's the flush. So there's a battle here, pretty good. I'm gonna cancel my 85 bid and just put a 90 bid there and take it. I feel like there is a flush coming here. This is gonna sound stupid, but just the way it's trading, there's like a big move that this is trying to do, and I feel like the buyers are trying to hold this thing up. The futures basically just ticked low again, and Nvidia didn't really do anything. I mean, we were just at 116 flat. It went to 116.88 there or something like that, or 115.88. That's not a big move. So I'm going to put see, I'm talking myself. I just could another 92 there. I'm getting out now, and it's just like, it's only 25 cents, but Again, trying to absorb some of this beatdown that we've had on the long so far here today. All right, Nvidia, come on, man. We're bidding in the 70s now. Let's get a flush. Just leave it alone. Where are you at, Kathy? Let this thing go, man. Stop buying it up. There's someone right now buying this name up. Let me see what AMD's doing. We should have just flipped over when Neil was talking about
That's
that.
my physiotherapist, probably.
Right now. Look, yeah, so right there. I guess this is not really going either. 155. So they're trying to support some of these dips right now in the market. So 116 and change. Hey, man, I'm going to get another piece out and just say, you know what, win on that. We'll take out an 04 there. We're getting lighter and lighter on this name. Watch out, man. If we break above this 116.50, we have to get out of this one. That's a 200 period, but we've gotten a lot lighter on this. So far, so good here. Would obviously like a downside push, Neil, but I
think so too.
We're all short everything. I mean, it's funny because I'm short Intel, you're short Intel and AMD, and we've got this one here. But Nio is still working. Let's just hope for more downside.
Well, the battle that Sean's alluding to, I mean, it's not just Nvidia. I mean, there's a few names. I mean, AMD's battling the low of the day as well. But you look at this NASDAQ, you just go to after overnight lows yesterday, it looks like we just are wicking underneath. So the 20,000, like any futures level, you can be above or below by 10 handles, and it doesn't mean the battle's done. Like, it got about 30 handles underneath and caught a bit of a bid. So I think that quarter needs to get taken out. You get back underneath that, 25 points underneath the 20,000. I think some of these things are going to start to drop. But AMD, which I got wicked out of the first time, bounced off a higher low at 75s and is trying to go. I took some profit on Intel as well, as it's bouncing a higher low. First it went to 37, now it's bouncing off of 40, so it's still working underneath VWAP. But like you said, you're catching some bids here. Tesla's at 250 right now, and the market's not at the low. Tesla is at the low.
Okay.
Like if this happens at 9:30, I'd be long Tesla at 250. But I'm feeling pretty bearish right now, and I don't want to be standing out in front of this. I think we're going red, and I think we're holding red at this point. So I don't want to just sit on any kind of a bid. We're going to hang on to the shorts because I feel like that's whoa, Moderna just broke as well. So Moderna broke that $64 level. I didn't think that was going to happen this quick. So flat bottom break on Moderna. That's yesterday's bottom. It's also a big level on the daily. Moderna making fresh lows.
He's back.
Randy in the house with, we got Sector Watch
Nvidia
and
finally, guys.
whatever that is.
Another one.
Nvidia downside here. Kathy Wood has stopped buying. Randy maybe is buying right now, so we'll find out. More about Randy Randy is Kathy Wood? No. Randy's much more beautiful. All right, let's go back over to the desk now or the screen with Adara, who's wearing all green on a tanking day.
It's kind of like a grayish green.
Not a ton of sectors green here today. There is some strength in transportation. Uber here to the upside. Consumer services not bad either. We also have CAT, Caterpillar, lifting up the producer manufacturing sector, announcing it's going to be appearing here at Min Expo 2024. So good look here for CAT, but a lot of these sectors are going to be a bit more mixed or weak. In terms of sharp weakness, of course, we have to talk about commercial services. We know Visa here, V to the downside on this Bloomberg report that is going to be facing a DOJ investigation with regards to antitrust, bringing down some of these other credit card companies alongside it. We also have quite a lot of weakness in technology services, Meta and Microsoft to the downside, though electronic technology a little bit more muted with the exception of Broadcom and AMD. Finance a bit weaker here as well. Health technology more mixed. Really mixed bag today. We'll have to see if any of these sectors get a little bit stronger to the upside or downside. But right now, with the exception of commercial services, a bit more calm to start the day, guys.
Right, I was just showing Randy here, like we were long on Amazon here, and then we lost the bid at 192, which was a posted level here, Andre, thank you so much, or Ramin, of 192. So as soon as 192 left, we went short, and right now it is going to be a deuce right now in the money. The market's kind of dropping a deuce right now, down to the downside. That's 190 trying to hold right now on Amazon. Oh boy, Amazon goes to the downside right there. And we got it, baby. We got this one. Let's props it up. It is, this is a brisket trade, but we're still trying to make back some brisket here. Nice move to the downside right now for Nvidia. Now 70 cents in the money. It's a good thing, Randy, we believed in this trade and was able to hold a little bit of it. We still have on about 40%. So let's get to the downside right now. Thank you for subscribing, man. If you subscribe, you get to see Randy more often because you'll get the note that we're live on the air. And Randy, every day you're here in the office, you grace us with your presence.
Yes.
So we thank you for that.
But he is gone now, despite the graphics still holding up. When did they? Okay, whatever. The bulls should be switched to bears at this point. But not everything broke the low of the day. So low of the day just held on AMD. Now, the NASDAQ made a fresh low and is trying to get back above 20,000. So like if we fail 20,000, I'll just look for a reload there. But AMD starting to come back into the upside. And there goes Tesla. So Tesla wick and maybe a lit grab underneath 250. If this can put up a higher low, that looks a little bit more appealing if we can hold that 20,000 level. It's probably the only name that I'm actually looking long. I didn't really find anything that was looking great, but Tesla starting to go on the rebound. DJT, look, DJT, it's starting to stall out here. Like it's trying to get to VWAP on that flush from 13, but it's running into some support here when the market kept falling. You know, it's up 4%. It's a squeeze name. It's short sell restricted today, all that good stuff. So I do feel like it's trying to catch a bit of a bid. I'm just going to trail it to 75 at this point. So I'm still holding for VWAP, but no longer going to wait for break even. This might just be as far as it's going back up. And when the market tanks like this, sometimes squeeze names get a little bit in the favor. So DJT, I'm going to get out if it hits VWAP. I'm going to get out if it breaks 1275. We're just trailing it. And Tesla, that 250. Yeah, now it's starting to scream back above that 250 level. So much for calmly putting in a higher low. I mean, I'm still feeling pretty bearish about the market, but Tesla's that one stock. That's that one stock that's looking pretty good here.
Yeah, I like Tesla. I also like this one right now. We'll give some props up and we'll do a little bit of an airplane. We actually haven't talked about Boeing yet right there, but some money coming back in now for Nvidia, thankfully, on that one. As we get a dollar now, we're $1 in the money on Amazon, $1 in the money on Nvidia. And we just took some more out on NIO right here at 71. I mean, we got 65 twice, man. We got 65 and then, 67 and 65. So some really good levels there for us on NIO. And I'm just looking at Nvidia now, and we took another piece just right now. We're taking some out as you are starting to do some bar coding. So we have 3 outs down here at 50s. So our best out is 50. 55, 58. So all into here, all into the 50s. It was dropping. I mean, again, we knew that we'd have too many outs here in the 80s. But again, sans that crystal ball, which we'll have to try to hit it again to see if there's going to be maybe a market rebound. Those are pretty good outs for me. So maybe we'll get another out here if it breaks above 70, which may happen right now. And then that'll be it. And then we'll just wait to see if there is more flow, because look where we are on the futures. You can see it on the bottom here. We're back up to the 50 period and 20,000. So if you take 20,000 again, just psychological level, it's going to start some algos. It's going to start some programs again, seeing if they can hold 20. And if they don't, then you get that flush move, which is what that first move was, I believe, on Amazon and on Nvidia, as we broke the day's low and then just kept on going and going and going as there were no buyers to be found. So yeah, they're okay. Oops, as I continue to talk, I'm just going to punch out. So there we go. Actually get a 71 there. We meant to get out if it broke 75. It did. I was late to the party, so we punched out and got 72s. My bad. So we do get some 72 fills there on Nvidia to get a piece out. We are now only holding about a quarter, maybe a little more than that, maybe a third of this Nvidia trade. And let's just see what it does. Let's see if we get a fade off right there. Cleared some out of NIO, and we have 5% right now of Amazon left. So we haven't done the best job on this, but we have some good outs right here, 190, 80s. Those are our best outs, but it does go into the 30s. Wow, Amazon, huge bounce. As you mentioned, Tesla, looks like Amazon had a great bounce as well.
Yeah, we might have missed a chance on Tesla. I'm at 50.5, but we're probably not going to get it. Intel broke VWAP, so out of Intel. It never went underneath the second time that 2240 level. We reloaded one last time at 55, but there's the break of VWAP in 60s, so we just jump out. Still, I mean, DJT doesn't care what the market's doing, so it's still going to go. It tried to get to VWAP just there and just missed it. Bounced off 1251. Yeah, it's probably making a bottoming pattern here, so forget about 75s. We're just going to give it to 65s now. So just adjusting. I don't actually use like trailing stops in the traditional sense where it's like, oh, if it bounces 10 cents or bounces a percentage, I pick the level that I like and I put the trail in. So I just manually keep adjusting it. I know there's probably easier ways to do it, but that's not how I roll. Ways, yeah. No, like you can set one that just says if it bounces every 5 cents or something. I've never really done that. I've always tried to pick a key price level. So there's Tesla. Yeah, it's down 251 quarters. Maybe we'll get a retest back here at the half, and I can give that to the 50 level, but Tesla's starting to go. So I think the short party temporarily over. Going to look for bounces into VWAP. Ideally, Tesla would be the one. I'd rather have that than just about anything else. Steve J, how people now on Netflix? How are people now, I'm assuming you mean, on Netflix? I'd say that's a strong name today.
Again? Oh,
congratulations. Netflix, while the market's bouncing off the lows, Netflix is breaking the highs, and yeah, this is about to make an all-time high test when the market's at those lows. That'll be 715.75 I have as breaking that top. And Netflix, before it gets there, should probably be along if we hold 20,000. I don't know if you're going to get VWAP at this point. The market probably has to retest that 20,000. But Netflix, sneaky. You're absolutely right about that. Insurance Casino in the chat. It is a sneaky long. Didn't even notice that this one was going to the upside. See, we don't consider it Mag 7 anymore. And then it does stuff like this.
Make sure you buy some insurance if you go to the casino, especially if you get like blackjack. You know, you're playing blackjack, you can insure your hand.
True that.
You have like a 20. You might want to grab that insurance against.
I needed fantasy insurance when I went to bed. I was up by like 30 points, and then I woke up.
Yep, I know.
And Joe Burrow and Terry McLaurin did some things.
Yeah, and then, he was facing that. I was facing Jaden Daniels, who is just an absolute monster this year. Again, that's back to, he has like 38 fantasy points in 2 straight weeks or something like that.
And break fantasy.
Yeah, what a monster some of these guys are this year in fantasy. So this was kind of a funny week, though. It was like, you had kind of all the good players. You didn't do very well this week, I feel like. And then some of the unknown heroes this week in fantasy were pretty darn good. So, yeah, congratulations. Make sure you hit the like and the subscribe if you want to continue to enjoy the content. We post every single day. The market's open. We are live here. And then today in the midday, I just see my guy throwing down now again. What are the topic du jour today, Sharif? Okay, so, all right. Okay, perfect. So changing shapes and patterns, textbook patterns. What happens when those patterns dissolve, I guess? Yeah. Is that a good word, Sharif?
Okay.
I mean, it's not really a word of the day or anything.
Dissolve, I like.
Okay, we haven't. Okay. Oh, okay, we get it. We get the dissolve on that one. Yeah, it's been a minute since the word of the day, I feel like.
Ramin is fast
we should
on
be,
that.
No, that was Sharif, man. That
was Sharif? Oh, yeah, he was quick.
That was Sharif, man. He's right there.
He ran to the keys.
All right, you know the one I like is this one right here. Let's go. There we go. Wake up, guy. Right there. The market is definitely waking up and not liking what it sees. It's like Groundhog Day all over again, but it looks like it saw its shadow, goes back into sleep right now, and the market continues to now make a move higher. It's funny we talk like this, and I just look over and I'm like, oh man, the market, this is such a bad day. Minus 0.2 right now for the NASDAQ. It's just been a minute, I guess, since we've well, I mean, it did this yesterday. It floated around, so I don't know. It just felt more dramatic than maybe it was. ES down 0.13 right now. NASDAQ just down, and happy to say it, just down 0.2. I'm in a very chilled spot right now, and part of the reasons for that is we've emptied out. We talked about we wanted to punch those 70s when those came through there for our friend Nvidia, so we did that. We also had some good outs down here in the 50s. We had 3 outs we talked about down there as well. So we're still holding right now 20% right now of Nvidia. So good move to the downside. Amazon is the name. Amazon and Tesla, from what I can see, have definitely retraced maybe the most back up to the upside right now. Amazon off 190, pretty clean. And then my number one stock, which Nio, I only have, look, I'm 2 for 2, 2 and 2, 2 red, 2 green. Tesla looks like it much better bounce. The only problem with Tesla is it actually breaks 250. So I don't really consider that a great bounce. It was more like a great hold off that level.
It's more like a reversal.
You'd had to have held it, right? I mean, how could you hold a 250 break?
Well, you could. The thing is, if you don't take it, so I'm mad at myself because if you don't take the 250 break, that means you're not in it and don't have to hold it against you.
Right.
But what you can do in that moment, which I should have done, obviously I got to be real. I should have made this trade. It holds. Can we come to the chart for a second? Ram. There we go. So look at this aftermarket kind of supports underneath 250, like 249.5 or so. It goes right into there, holds a $0.50, and then you take the break back above 250 with the stop at the low. Like that is a classic reversal setup. So been there before, just didn't do it, and now you're going to get all the way into VWAP. If it does that, look, that's a strong stock going into VWAP. I'm not going to short it in there. I feel like if there's anything, like if I take anything at VWAP for a reload on the short when we get to overnight lows in 2 seconds, AMD would be a red to green. Bro, I'm just holding on DJT right now. So we're gonna
trade the red to green.
Yeah, it's the old Christmas tree trade, I suppose. Was that a call for?
Yeah, because we're late for.
It's 10:53 already.
Talks. It's 10:53.
My bad.
You're bad.
Money here, DXY continuing to consolidate around that low here, that 100.6. We've been here for about a month now with these lower highs and this base of 100.6, 100.5. Let's see if we're able to crack below this. We did have the market cracking lower with those 10 a.m. economic numbers. Chiefly here, the CB consumer confidence for September coming in a bit lower than expected, 98.7 versus 103.9 estimated. The prior number, 105.6, so down about 7 points here from that prior number. Interesting look there. Richmond Manufacturing Index also coming through at 10 a.m., also lower than expected, negative 21 versus negative 13 was the estimate that we're looking for there. We also had comments for the first time since the FOMC meeting from Fed Michelle Bowman, who was the one dissenting member who did not agree with that 50 basis point cut we got. Michelle Bowman saying that we need to have a cautious approach to rate cut and saying that inflation concerns must be balanced with the labor market concerns and stability. This could be interesting because we actually have some labor numbers coming out next week, including job openings and NFPs. So notes there from Governor Bowman. No other economic data on watch the rest of the day here, guys.
Was that Governor Michelle Bowman? All right, so we'll have to pay attention to her coming through again.
Open the pod
you have to be
bay
careful
doors
when
now.
when the different governors are speaking and whatnot, because again, this is what opens up the Pandora's box. All right, so I was just like looking down and was like, huh? Okay, Nvidia, we'll see if we can get a reload. And we did. So we shorted there off the 50-period MA with a bid there at 96. We'll take some out. We just shorted it again right here. Like this is, now we're back in our comfort zone a little bit. Let the market try to settle down a bit, and then, use kind of that spidey sense here to get a feel for what's been happening. The market retook that 20,000. We definitely had missed some opportunities to get long, but we did not miss opportunities to get out of our short. So I feel pretty confident and pretty good about how we traded that move down. Now we could get burned on reloads. So when that happens, we do not reload it. We're still waiting for 116.50. That's the 200 period. If that breaks, we're gone. I'm still going to give it that level. We are going to average in if we can get a 20 fill like we did before. So that gave us $1. But you know what's the most important? And it can always be late for money talks, but sometimes we miss this. We cannot let you down, as there's a lot of people in the chat that want to know what's for lunch. Maybe they don't, but it's my party and we'll cry if we want to. Today is for all my Greek friends out there. We head to the Danforth, we'll get some souvlaki. We'll do all of that at some point. Come visit us here live in Toronto, the home of amazing culinary experiences. Toronto.
I agree.
Again. All right. So shout out. This is my bid for mayor. Eventually, when we're done here, we will be running for the mayor of Toronto. Watch out, Olivia Chow. All right, Greek-style breast of chicken with feta cheese, black olives, and some mini tomatoes. So we are definitely liking that one, so we can get reloaded on some Greek food right there. This goes well with one of my favorite type of style of potato, mini roasted potatoes on the side there as well, with again, homemade, I put this part in, homemade grilled pita.
Oh, I'm all about the pita bread.
But the funny thing is here, me too. I made the homemade part, probably not, but anyway.
I mean, it's a caterer.
Yeah, caterer. Catered grilled pita. The funniest part about today's menu, Greek-style breast of chicken with feta cheese, olives.
I don't like feta.
Side Caesar salad.
I don't like feta.
All right.
I don't like Caesar salad.
Here we go. Just cross the Mediterranean there. See my guy Julius Caesar and see what's going on with the salad. So there it is, man.
That's the Rubicon I don't cross.
It is what's for lunch. Some Greek food with side Caesar salad. So there you go.
90% of Caesar salads that you buy they put way too much dressing on it. I'm just not a fan.
The good thing you put your own dressing on this situation.
Well, it's also, I also feel like it's too, they always do it too creamy. It's a little too rich. So it's never for me. So as I said, that's the Rubicon that I will not cross eating the Caesar salad here. I'll stay away. My plain salad has no dressing on it, and that's the way I like it. I'm back into AMD. I haven't used salad dressing in a long time. I feel like as long as a salad has enough in it, you just don't put, it can be lettuce, add enough vegetables in it, give it flavor. I like to make a salad that way. Give me some cherry tomatoes, cucumbers in that, a little bit of carrots. There's so much. You can put some nuts in there, like walnuts work really well, maybe some cranberries. Like that's how I flavor my salad. I don't need to have salad dressing, but I do need to have AMD come down because this market's still screaming up. So
you should have a podcast about
slap the L on AMD up here.
Neil's culinary preferences.
I can talk about food all day long if you.
Yeah, I know. That's what
nobody
I'm saying.
wants to hear that.
No one. You just went off on that one there.
Trust me, I can go off on
rabbit food.
I like food.
Trader. Yeah, everyone likes food. I hope.
Hey man, salad's good for you, and to me, like make healthy foods taste good, and then you enjoy eating them. Like if you want to work out, do stuff that's active, that makes you happy, that makes you feel good, that you enjoy, and you're going to do it more. Make healthy foods interesting to you and taste well, and you're going to eat better. Instead of trying to, oh my goodness, I have to be miserable to be healthy. That's utter nonsense, man. You make anything taste good. Oh, almost. Broccoli sucks. Cauliflower sucks.
See, guys, this is what I'm talking about.
What? I can see
throw the ones. I think we're onto something. I think we can do a podcast of Neil's culinary delights. I think that could be the name of the podcast. I think we can go there. I feel that's you just went.
I'll do as long as I get to eat while I'm doing it. I'm happy with it.
I love broccoli.
I'm down with that.
I actually really like broccoli.
Oh, do you?
You can eat while you're doing it, man. You can the podcast, baby. You can smoke joints. I mean, remember that? Remember we saw our guy there, Elon.
Drugs are bad.
No, I'm not saying you can.
Drugs are bad, kids.
What's up, Chef Joe? Yeah, once we'll get back on that podcast tip.
Why'd you hit that, Ramin? Wow, I'm trying to tell people that stay off the drugs, kids. But just back to trading, because it's actually 11 o'clock right now, as I only noticed because they flipped it over to Shreve.
Drugs much healthier than drinking.
And Dara just there. So AMD just came out, and that's in the bad way. But the only thing that we still have on is going to be DJT just broke VWAP, so it's heading back in. We got the low, we got the high, and now we're just going to hold underneath VWAP. What goes down must come up, and then what goes up must come down for DJT. I'm now trailing back underneath the 50 level. But it's learn to trade here at Real Trading, and you've got Sharif, you've got Adara, go get them, go Bills. I just remembered that.
What is up, beautiful people? Welcome to How to Trade, formerly known as the Midday Show. That is Adara.